Welcome to the fantasy audiobook, Metropolis. I am a full-time professional, attracting worldwide attention. Chapter 61. The backyard of this house has been overgrown with weeds, and it seems that no one has lived in it for a long time. The room was also covered with dust, and the program crew did not arrange for someone to clean it. Chen Zan was not in a hurry to clean up. He went to the neighboring villager's house and knocked on the door. After a while, an aunt came over. "Young man, what's wrong?" Chen Zan said. "Auntie, do you have rice at home? I want to buy some with you." "Hey, what to buy? I'll get you some." "That won't work," Chen Zan said. "If I take it directly, then I have to leave here today." He briefly talked about the rules of the program group. Although the aunt didn't know exactly what programs were not to be shown, seeing Chen Zan so persistent, she agreed to him. Chen Zan bought rice for 50 yuan and bought some oil and salt seasoning. These are all new rice, but the aunt sells them cheaply. He counts one piece and one caddy, which is equivalent to half selling and half free. Chen Zan thanked him and left with 50 caddies of rice and seasonings. When he returned to the kitchen, he suddenly found a very serious problem. No firewood. It's not easy to have lunch. Shaking his head with a bitter smile, Chen Zan grabbed a hatchet and a hoe from behind the door, found a bundle of hemp rope and a urea bag, and walked out. "These days are really bitter. I don't even have a gas stove. I'm starting to worry about Brother Chen. I too have a hunch that Brother Chen might not be able to hold on even today. Brother Chen, who has the delicate skin and tender meat, can't eat the bitterness of the countryside." Netizens are surprisingly unanimous, thinking that Chen Zan may not last long. "It's not that I didn't see him well, but it was this hell start." They racked their brains and couldn't think of how to reverse it. In the beginning, a ruined house, an acre of farmland full of weeds, a cow. No matter how you look at it, this is not like a configuration that can live for a month. Chen Zan went out and went straight to the opposite mountain. The starting conditions are a bit poor, but for the countryside, this is actually the most ordinary life. My hometown is in the countryside. The environment is very similar to this, but the mountain is not so high. Chen Zan chatted as he walked. The drone recorded clearly. "Brother Chen, give up. Actually, I have an idea to let Brother Chen lie down easily for a month." "What idea?" "You just understand, brother. The idea is to kill the cow." "Puff, what a real talent. Ha ha ha, it's okay to kill cattle." "Don't say it. I really think this idea is okay." "I think it's okay, and the program group doesn't stipulate that cows can't be killed." "Are you thinking of killing cows too simple? That's a cow, not a chicken." When Wang Dao saw these barrages, the corners of their mouths twitched. "Kill the cow. To be honest, they really haven't thought about this." Ma Jingyao suddenly asked curiously, "Is the program banned from killing cows?" Wang Dao shook his head. "No prohibition." Zhang Jianmen said, "It makes no difference whether it is forbidden or not. Killing the cow will not solve the fundamental problem." Concubine Lin curiously asked, "Officer Zhang, why do you say that?" Zhang Jianmen said, "First, how to kill? With an ordinary chopper. Unless you are a professional butcher, it is basically impossible to kill a cow with a kitchen knife. Second, do you dare to kill? Most people, let alone killing cows, don't even dare to kill chickens. And this is an adult water buffalo. I don't think it looks on the screen, but you will find the water buffalo if you really stand in front of it. No matter how old you are, you may not dare to stab you with a knife. Third, take 10,000 steps and say, Chen Zan really killed him. What will happen after that? I don't know if you have noticed it, but I have noticed. There is no refrigerator in Chen Zan's house, which means that there is no place to refrigerate beef. In this weather, beef will go bad if it lasts 4 or 5 days. God, it's still hungry. Therefore, there is no essential difference between killing a cow or not." His analysis made it clear to everyone in an instant. Ma Jingyao admired. Officer Zhang deserves to be a police officer. He observes carefully and has strong analytical skills. Li Lang said, "I did not notice the refrigerator problem." Lin Fei said, "After listening to your analysis, how do I feel that Chen Zan can't live for a week?" "That's not enough." Zhang Jianmen shook his head. "The previous challengers can persist for half a month. As long as he can stand his temper, he still hopes to persist for a month. However, persisting for a month may not be able to pass the score. Quote, after all, this is mainly to look at the performance in this month. Chen Zan was able to get close to full marks in the three-party scores before, because he performed well enough in his profession as a chef. The previous performance has brought him a lot of passers-by. But if his performance is unsatisfactory, even if he can pass, it is barely passing. At this time, Chen Zan has come to the bamboo forest. He threw the hatchet, the rope and the urea bag on the ground, grabbed the hoe, and swept across the bamboo forest. He said, this season, the bamboo forest has a delicacy. But this delicacy is not something anyone can find. He wants to find it. It must have enough experience. But even with experience, sometimes it will fail. Brother Chen. You don't want to eat bamboo, do you? Sand sculpture, I am amused for the Lord. Chen Jie said bamboo shoots, okay. This sky bamboo shoot hasn't come up yet, right? Don't come up and dig a few. I went home last week. After digging for half an hour, I dug 2 fist-sized bamboo shoots. I was so angry that I lost my hoe on the spot. Chen Zan grabbed the hoe, looked down in the bamboo forest, and said, the sky in March, the bamboo shoots have not yet emerged, so they are called winter bamboo shoots. When they do, they will spring bamboo shoots. When I was young, every February and March, I would go to the mountains to dig bamboo shoots with my friends in the village. This thing is the same as fishing. If there are any bamboo shoots underneath, I have to dig to know. When you dig the bamboo shoots, it's the same as when the fish is biting, the adrenaline is soaring, and it's a cool batch. Is it so cool to dig a bamboo shoot? What you said is in harmony with life. It's really so cool, especially winter bamboo shoots. Spring bamboo shoots don't feel like this. Those who have not dug bamboo shoots will never understand. I don't know if digging bamboo shoots is cool, but fishing is really cool, the kind of cool flying. Tong Shuang. Every time I go fishing, but I can't catch it, I can sit by the river for a day. Chen Zan said, digging winter bamboo shoots is actually a technical job. Of course, for those who don't understand, it really depends on luck. But for people like me who have lived in the countryside since I was a child, there are actually traces to dig for winter bamboo shoots. As he walked forward, he swept the dirt under his feet. Here, Chen Zan threw his hoe to the ground, squatted down and pointed at the soil. I bet everyone, there are definitely winter bamboo shoots below here. Moreover, there is more than one winter bamboo shoot. If Chen Zan is so confident, netizens are also interested. It's too early to say, I haven't dug it yet. If I can't dug it for a while, wouldn't it mean you slap yourself in the face? I just want to know, how are you sure? I don't see any difference between this soil and other places. Although Chen Zan couldn't see the barrage, he guessed what the netizens thought at the moment. He didn't talk nonsense, lifted his hoe and started digging. Netizens are staring. Depend on. I saw the tip of bamboo shoots. It's tender and green, there are really winter bamboo shoots. Chen Zan dug a few times, and a bunch of green shoots emerged from the soil. Netizens were surprised when they saw it. Actually let him dig it out. And really, it's here, it's here. It's amazing. Especially many people who grew up in the city, when they saw this scene, felt a little weird. I have seen the tip of the bamboo shoot. Chen Zan smiled and continued digging. If it is the first time to dig bamboo shoots, even if you find winter bamboo shoots, it will be difficult to dig them out for a while. Because winter bamboo shoots are not like spring bamboo shoots. Spring bamboo shoots have their heads up, and some even half of their bodies are out of the soil. They just dug them out with a light dig. But the winter bamboo shoots are all buried in the soil. Quote, big winter bamboo shoots can even have arm length. So you have to dig along the top of the winter bamboo shoots, dig out the soil on the top, and then vigorously swing the hoe to cut off the roots of the winter bamboo shoots, and then pry the hoe in the opposite direction. With that said, Chen Zan shook his hoe abruptly, hoeing off the roots of the winter bamboo shoots steadily. With a strong pry, the winter bamboo shoots were pried out of the soil. The whole process takes only 10 seconds. When everyone saw it, there was a refreshing feeling. Chen Zan grabbed the winter bamboo shoot and shook it in front of the drone. Like I did this, a winter bamboo shoot can be dug out intact. Isn't it simple? It's so simple. It will be done at a glance, and it will be discarded as soon as you study. Paralysis. Brother Chen, are you clear-sighted? Can you find it through a layer of soil? I want to know now, how did Brother Chen find it? It is seriously suspected that the winter bamboo shoots were buried in advance, the head of a dog as a lifesaver. Wang Dao was also surprised. His movements look very skillful. What surprised me most was the process of finding winter bamboo shoots. Ma Jingyao said, my hometown is also in the countryside. I dug bamboo shoots when I was a child. Finding winter bamboo shoots is not an easy task, after all, it's under the soil. It seems that he can't be hungry anymore. Zhang Jianmen smiled. As long as he is not too tired, digging bamboo shoots every day, enough for him to eat for a month. Chen Zan threw the winter bamboo shoots aside and continued digging. Winter bamboo shoots are usually a nest, but there are 2 or 3 in a nest. Of course, there are many places, there is only one. But I think there should be more than one under this. It's easy to find other winter bamboo shoots. Have you seen this? Chen Zan used a hoe to poke away the soil beside it, revealing a bamboo joint that lay across the soil. The bamboo joints are a little black, about 10 centimeters in thickness. This is called a bamboo whip. If you continue to look for it along the bamboo whip, there is a certain chance that you can find the winter bamboo shoots hidden elsewhere. Oh, I found it. Within 2 seconds of talking, Chen Zan found the second winter bamboo shoot. The screen was sour. Watching Brother Chen dig winter bamboo shoots, it feels so easy. Really, let him dig the second one. I'll take it. This winter bamboo shoot is really big. Watching Brother Chen digging winter bamboo shoots is also a kind of enjoyment. This action is really skilled, and I don't do less farm work when I see it. Chen Zan dug out this winter bamboo shoot with 3 strokes and 5 divided by 2. Okay. Now I will teach you how to find winter bamboo shoots in the bamboo forest that have not yet emerged. Following Chen Zan's words, netizens stared at the screen attentively, and even Wang Dao listened carefully. Knock on the blackboard and mark the key points. This is for the test. The hoe has been bought. Where can I dig bamboo shoots? Chen Zan was carrying a hoe, walking around and watching. Here, he stopped, knelt down and pointed his finger at the dirt. Look carefully. This piece of soil is looser than the soil next to it, and then there will be a slight bulge, but the bulge is not obvious, you have to observe carefully to find it. This is the first step of the judgment. Basically, as long as you find a place like this, there is a high probability that winter bamboo shoots can be dug underneath. The principle is also very simple, because the winter bamboo shoots are constantly growing upwards. When they go up little by little, the soil on the top will be soft and the top will be raised. Come on, let me dig a bit to see if there are winter bamboo shoots hidden underneath. Chen Zan digs straight after he finishes talking. I dug a few hoes, and as expected, there is really a winter bamboo shoot below. Learned. Weird knowledge has increased, and it is really strange, because I found that this knowledge is of no use to me. Funny. Suddenly I have confidence in Brother Chen's challenge this time. Chen Zan Xiaoxiao's skill in digging bamboo shoots has surprised many people. Stop digging, so many bamboo shoots are enough for me to eat several meals. After digging more than 10 bamboo shoots, Chen Zan put them in a bag and left them aside. Throwing the hoe aside, Chen Zan grabbed the hatchet and said, chopping wood. I have food, but I haven't picked up the firewood for the pot. There is no firewood in the bamboo forest, so you have to go to the mountains. After passing through the bamboo forest, Chen Zan slowed down, looking for dead branches or broken trees on the mountain. He threw all the branches he picked up in one place and wandered around for more than 40 minutes. The firewood he picked up was already piled up like a hill, at least 100 kilograms. He grabbed the rope, tied the firewood several times, and tied it firmly. This has to be 50 caddies, right? Absolutely more, so much, at least 120-30 caddies. It doesn't look much. How can it be so heavy? This is so fast that one person is taller, not much called. Big brother, you haven't done farm work, it's like so much firewood, 120-30 kilograms, I will say less, and Chen is so tight, I guess it can be 150 kilograms. After tying the firewood, Chen Zan clapped his hands, and a layer of mud fell straight down. So much firewood, enough for me to use for several days. Walk, go home for dinner. The guy who cooks and eats is ready. Chen Zan laughed. Then, under everyone's dumbfounded gaze, He grabbed the hemp rope tied with the firewood with one hand, and slightly mentioned the more than 100 caddies of firewood. He raised it with a very relaxed gesture. Then with one hand on his shoulder, he hummed a little song and went down the mountain. Deathly silence in the live broadcast room. Wang Dao and the others also opened their mouths and were speechless for a while. More than 100 caddies of firewood, in Chen Zan's hands, was as light as a feather. Such a relaxed posture made everyone look silly directly. After the live broadcast room was silent for 3 or 4 seconds, the barrage instantly hit like a storm. My, Chen Jie is so strong. This is fake, isn't it? This horse, Hercules. What a terrifying strength, more than 100 caddies, so easy with one hand. If you say that you can lift more than 100 caddies in one hand, you can do a lot. But it's as easy as Chen Zan, really few. Most people lift heavy objects with one hand, and half of their body will follow. But Chen Zan was totally unaffected, as if it was not more than 100 caddies of firewood, but a few caddies of gadgets. Chen Zan didn't think there was anything wrong, everything was natural. Fortunately, this is a live broadcast. They watched Chen Zan pick up these firewood, otherwise they really thought it was a pose. For more than a month, Chen Zan has not shown much physical fitness except for running home every night. But in fact, after drinking a lot of genetic drinks, his physical fitness has reached a rather terrifying level. As long as he wants, he can even break multiple world records easily. Carrying firewood to the bamboo forest, he grabbed the bag with winter bamboo shoots, lifted the hoe, and continued to walk down the mountain. And this inadvertent act made netizens know Chen Zan again. For a long time, Chen Zan gave them the impression that he was a scholar-like man with excellent cooking skills, handsome appearance, and gentle and elegant personality. But now, this scholar has 2 perverted strengths. On the way home, I ran into many villagers. The people in the village knew early in the morning that a program group was coming to their village to film and set the scene, but this was the first time I saw Chen Zan. Chen Zan took the initiative to say hello to them. Good old man, good old man. The villagers also responded with a smile, and soon knew his name. Xiao Chen, you are so strong, so much firewood can be carried by one person. At first glance, he is our farmer's son. Come on, give me the bag. No, I can do it alone. Thanks to the villagers' kindness, Chen Zan went all the way back to his home. After throwing the firewood into the kitchen, he poured out all the winter bamboo shoots. Picking a few of the largest bamboo shoots, Chen Zan took a plastic bag and went out. When he came to the aunt's house next door, Chen Zan said, "Auntie, I just went to the bamboo forest to dig some bamboo shoots. I will give you some." "Hey, take it back and take it back." The aunt didn't accept it. "You just came here and you don't have anything to eat. Can I still want you?" I dug a lot, more than a dozen. Chen Zan put the bamboo shoots down and turned around and ran. "Auntie, I'm going back first." The aunt looked at the big bamboo shoots on the ground, and then at Chen Zan who was leaving. She smiled and said, "This young man is good. What's this called? Xian Illustrated Report. God stepping on the horse knows grace. It's not that Brother Chen didn't pay for the rice. Don't use idioms indiscriminately, can you? This is obviously to recognize the thief as the father." Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Back home, Chen Zan first washed the pot, then burned the fire, washed rice and steamed rice, and then peeled the bamboo shoots. When the rice is almost cooked, the second pot of cooking is set up. After all, it is a god-level cooking skill. Although the dishes are a bit monotonous, the bamboo shoots are still delicious. After lunch, Chen Zan took out a recliner from the house, wiped it clean, and placed it in the yard. Lying on the recliner, Chen Zan squinted and rested. During the rest, he was also considering how to spend the next month. Just talking about eating, he must be starving. But under the circumstance of guaranteeing that you will not die from starvation, you have to pursue it a little bit. And he doesn't have many seasonings, and the aunt next door can get enough for a few meals. Can't you still let him go to the mountain to find salt mines? What's special? Can you find a salt mine and participate in any other programs? Isn't it fragrant to sell salt directly? So, you have to make money. With the ability of a farmer, the way to make money is very monotonous. Just grow vegetables. But the problem of growing vegetables is also very big. Most vegetables cannot mature in a month. So this road is basically blocked. But from the perspective of a hunter, there are too many ways and means to make money. From Chen Zhan's perspective, there are treasures everywhere in the mountains. It is not too easy to make money. But he was not in a hurry. He took a nap and talked about making money in the afternoon. On the other side, the celebrities who have been enthusiastic have also come to small villages that are not well known. Rent a rural house with a starting capital of 100 yuan, 1 mu of field, 1 cow, and live broadcast 24 hours a day. Basically, they are just like Chen Zhan. Today is the first day, they all feel pretty good, and there is even a relaxing experience on vacation. However, this is just the beginning, and they haven't realized what kind of nightmare it is to start with Chen Zhan in this way. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Chen Zhan jumped from the recliner. He straightened his arms, stretched his body, and made a cracking noise all over the body. Go up the mountain. Chen Zhan grabbed the hatchet and pinned it directly to his waist. I found another discarded tea can, grabbed it and left. What is this going to do? Brother Chen is going hunting. I want to hunt with a broken knife. I didn't wake up from the dream. Hunting is a good idea, but it's not easy to fight. Pheasants and hares can't be caught. Bigger wolves and wild boars, they can't do it if they meet them. There are wild boars in this mountain. There are wild boars in the mountains behind our school. Isn't it unusual for Brother Chen to have wild boars in this mountain? Just checked. Fengmingshan not only has wild boars, but also bears and cobras. Suddenly thought of the challenger bitten by the water snake. It's so pitiful. Wang Dao wondered, what is he going to do? Zhang Zhanman said, it's probably going to dig wild vegetables. Why are the teapots used? Concubine Lin was curious. Several people thought about it, but they didn't come up with a clue. Yeah, why do you use tea cans? And if you are digging wild vegetables, you need to bring a hatchet instead of a hoe for Mao. The more they can't figure it out, the more curious they are. Not long after Chen Zhan went out, when he passed the small shop in the village, he suddenly ran into 5, 7 or 8-year-old boys. The little boy is wearing corduroy pants, and the clothes on his body still have traces of stitching. It can be seen that his family is not very good. As soon as Chen Zhan appeared, they looked over with curiosity in their eyes. They all heard from the adults in the family. Recently, a big star is coming to his village. It seems that it is this handsome big brother. But the little boys were a little shy, just staring at them, but not talking. Chen Zhan smiled at them and continued to walk towards the mountain. After walking some distance, I suddenly found that the little boys were still behind him. Brother Chen, be careful, you are being targeted. Curious, if you really fight, can Brother Chen beat these kids? Quote question mark question mark question mark. Are you teasing me? Who can't beat these half-old children? I can knock them over with one hand, okay. Through the bamboo forest, Chen Zhan kept going all the way, walking for about half an hour before stopping in a forest. Looking back, the little boys followed from a distance. Chen Zhan was also interested, and asked, kids, what are you doing with me? The tallest little boy pointed at the drone floating behind Chen Zhan. His voice was weak and weak. Uncle, what's that? Chen Zhan was taken aback when he heard the words. He originally thought that these children were curious about himself. Only then did they understand that they were curious about drones. Chen Zhan patiently said, this is called a drone, which can fly very high and can take pictures of the entire mountain landscape. The little boys listened very carefully. Fortunately, Chen Zhan knew a little bit about drones, otherwise he would be really blind at the moment. These kids haven't even seen a drone. Not so, I think this village is very good, how could I have never heard of it? Aren't they going online? It's not that everyone has a mobile phone. It's hard for children in rural areas to get online, okay. What surprises you haven't seen a drone? Chen Zhan chatted with them for a while and asked them to observe the drone at close range. Although it can't be touched by hand, it is a very novel experience for a few children who are exposed to drones for the first time. The drone quickly closed the relationship between the two parties, and Chen Zhan also knew the little boy's name. The tallest name is Wang Bin. After staring at the drone for a while, he curiously asked, Uncle, what are you doing in the mountains? Another little boy asked, did you come here to shit? Puff, I was drinking water so I almost squirted out. I'm so laughing, Brother Chen came here to poop. Ha ha ha, shit, god shit. Whoever shit and ran so far, do you not take off your pants and fart? Is it unnecessary? Cover your face. Children speak without restraint. Children speak without restraint. The live broadcast room laughed into a ball. Chen Zan also twitched the corner of his mouth, shook his head and said, I'm here to make money. Several children looked around. How do you make money here? Brother Chen, how can you fool your child? Even children cheat. You are a real dog. It must be to revenge for just shit. Chen Zan smiled mysteriously and asked instead, do you want to make some pocket money? Wang Bin nodded immediately. Yes. For this group of rural children, the usual pocket money may be only $1 or $2. Suddenly there is an opportunity to make pocket money, and of course they will not let it go. Follow me. Chen Zan turned around and left, followed by a few children. As he walked, he looked down and looked around, seeming to be looking for something. Suddenly, he stopped, crouched in front of a stone, and handed the teak into Wang Bin. Help me hold it. When Wang Bin took the tea box, he saw Chen Zan suddenly remove the stone in front of him. Several young boys all gathered around, and netizens stared curiously, wondering how Chen Zan wants to make money. The stone pulled open for a moment, and some small bugs immediately appeared in the lens. There were round watermelon worms, soft earthworms, and 2 red-headed centipedes. The centipede crawled fast, crawling towards the feet of a little boy. The little boy was not afraid, and he had to step on it when he lifted his foot. Chen Zan's eyes were quick and his hands were quick. He took a step before his right hand, and it was lightning fast. His index finger and thumb pinched the centipede's head with great precision. Then his left hand probed again and grabbed another centipede. These 2 centipedes can have the length of chopsticks. After being grasped by Chen Zan one hand one by one, they coiled around Chen Zan's fingers like this, looking extremely shocking. All go, Brother Chen, you are poisonous, why are you catching centipedes? Gone, I have intensive phobia, and my scalp is numb. The courage is so big, centipedes dare to grab it with their hands, and a bite is not light. In the program group, concubine Lin and Ying Fu's faces turned white after a sigh, and girls are most afraid of this kind of bugs with many writhing feet. What is he doing with the centipede? Concubine Lin's voice trembled a little. Ma Jingyao smiled and said, I see. No wonder he said that he came here to make money. It turned out to be such a thing. Li Lang didn't quite understand. What's the matter? Centipede. Zhang Zhanmin said. The drugstore accepts centipede. This thing can be used as medicine, and the price is not cheap. We went to the mountain to catch it when we were on vacation when we were young. Catch centipedes and sell them for money. Wang Dao and the others were a little surprised. They grew up in the city since they were young. This is the first time I have heard of this kind of thing. All go, is this all okay? How much can a centipede sell for? I just want to ask. If this is a bite, will the money earn enough for medical expenses? So what can be done? There are so many ways for the villagers to make money. We used to catch centipedes in our hometown. After GUU, we would catch centipedes at night. For a while, centipedes will be caught and extinct. Brother Chen has definitely practiced this technique. I was bitten by a dozen mouthfuls when I was a child before I practiced to this point. This is definitely a master. People shouldn't look good. Brother Chen is so professional in catching centipedes, so awesome. Chen Zan pinched the 2 centipedes and said to Wang Bin, hand over the tea can. Oh. Wang Bin opened the lid and handed it over, looking at Chen Zan in surprise. This thing, their group of native rural children dare not grasp it with their hands. But the big stars from this city were caught so slippery. Chen Zan threw 2 centipedes into the jar, closed the lid, and continued searching. If you want to earn some pocket money, you can also catch a centipede, but it hurts to bite a person. You'd better use a stick to catch it. Can this be sold for money? The eyes of Wu Bin suddenly lit up. Of course, Chen Zan said, but it's not expensive. A large centipede is only $2 and $5, and a small centipede is about $1. So much. The price shocked several little boys directly. 2 yuan is definitely a huge sum of money for them. You can buy 4 bags of spicy strips in small packages. I can buy a can for filling Coke. They couldn't help it at once, and when they found the stick, they started digging around for centipedes. Chen Zan was not afraid of them being bitten either. He kept a bottle of genetic potion for future use. If he was bitten, he would apply it and treat him in minutes. Wang Bin also couldn't help it, and gave the jar in his hand to Chen Zan. Uncle Chen, I will also catch the centipede. Here is it for you. Be careful not to get bitten. Understood. Wang Binfei ran out as if, grabbed a tree stick and began to search. Chen Zan did not delay and continued to catch the centipede. The oil, salt, sauce and vinegar for the next month will depend on these centipedes. Snapped. When Chen Zan lifted a stone again, the sound of the system suddenly sounded in his head. Dashan's blessing is triggered. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Beastmaster Deterrence. Beastmaster Deterrence, a one-time ability. After you use it, you are the king of the beasts. Your breath makes the beasts tremble, your eyes frighten the beasts, and your instructions make the beasts crawl. Chen Zan's eyes suddenly brightened. Good stuff. This thing is simply against the sky. In addition to his excitement, he discovered that this thing seems to be a very tasteless ability. Where can I have a chance to use it? Use it to catch centipedes. Let a group of centipedes bow down and surrender themselves. It's so special. I think the picture is spicy after thinking about it. Go to the mountains to catch wild boars and open meat. This is too much to use. And if you really want to meet a wild boar, with his physical fitness, he can easily subdue it with his bare hands, wherever he needs to use this. The more Chen Zan thinks about it, the more he feels that this thing seems really useless. He sighed, and left it alone and continued to catch the centipede. Everyone saw that Chen Zan's hands were not like human beings. As long as there is a centipede under the stone, he seems to be very casual to poke his hand, but he can always pinch the centipede's head accurately and easily. I've already said that Brother Chen's sword skills are not achieved overnight. If you want to practice sword skills, you must first practice hand speed. It turned out to be like this. I realized it. I have realized it too. Now I'm going to find a rich woman. After more than an hour, Chen Zan stopped. The teapot was full of dang-dang, and all of them were centipedes. Wang Bin and several little boys also caught a lot of them. They got an empty mineral water bottle, which was full of centipedes, densely packed, and a group of netizens had scalp tingling in the live broadcast. However, compared with Chen Zan's results, it is still a lot worse. Even if the 5 of them arrested together, it was not as many as Chen Zan alone. No way. After all, it's not professional, and it's all about using branches to hold down the centipede before catching it. With their skill in catching one, Chen Zan can catch 4 or 5. Chen Zan opened the tea caddy and showed it to the camera. Almost 100, at least 200 or 300 can be sold. Stay away and stay away. Brother Chen, please go away quickly. I really can't see this thing. Brother Chen, you forced me to block you. Chen Zan can't see these. He smiles like a chrysanthemum at the moment. These centipedes, in his eyes, are these centipedes, they are simply walking soft sister coins. Don't catch it, let's go. Chen Zan shouted. Although it was only 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it was a mountain after all, and it would take more than half an hour to descend at his speed. Moreover, there are a lot of wild beasts in these mountains. He didn't dare to leave these children alone on the mountain. In case something happened, he would regret it. Obviously, this group of children didn't catch enough. According to the calculation of 2 yuan per one, they also caught more than 100 yuan. Leave, Chen Zan urged. He obviously had a certain status in Wang Bin's hearts. With this urge, the children stopped staying and followed him down the mountain. 7 or 8-year-olds are actually not big, but they are not too small. Children from poor families are in charge early again. They are more mature than ordinary children, and they know more. Chen Zan chats with them all the way, sometimes feels that they are not like children of this age. Halfway through, Chen Zan stopped suddenly. Wait. He looked down at the withered grass 2 meters away and walked quickly over. From this withered grass, a long needle-shaped scale plant grows, a bit like an enlarged version of mimosa. Uncle Chen, what is this? Wang Bin walked over and asked curiously, staring at the weeds. This is a Chinese herbal medicine. Chen Zan, with the experience of a golden hunter, immediately distinguished this medicinal plant. However, I only know that this is a medicinal material, but I don't know what it is called. At this moment, the voice of the system rang in my mind again. The blessing of the mountain is triggered. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the animal and plant guide. Animals and Plants Illustrated book. Click to learn, you are a walking encyclopedia. Chen Zan was taken aback for a moment, then he reacted and immediately clicked to learn without saying anything. Suddenly, a mess of information flooded into my mind. When he looked at the medicinal plant again, all the information about the medicinal plant appeared in front of him. Is this a medicinal material? Wang Bin asked in surprise. Well, medicinal materials. Chen Zan nodded, and said in a familiar science, this is called adiantum spheroids. Its main effect is to clear away heat and detoxify, relax muscles and activate collaterals, relieve swelling, stop bleeding and relieve pain. I was bitten by a poisonous snake or amusement worm. This has a miraculous effect. Wang Bin admired several people. Uncle Chen, you know a lot. Chen Zan smiled lightly. Understand a little bit. Worry, what do you know about Brother Chen? I suspect that Brother Chen is pretending to be forced, but I have no evidence. Well, Brother Chen only knows a little bit. I just checked it, it's really a medicinal material, and even the effect is not different from what Brother Chen said. It's really amazing. Have you forgotten? Brother Chen is a master student. What's the matter with Shuiba? Chen's undergraduate major is literature, not pharmacy. Gone, there really is such a good man in this world. Netizens were surprised that he even knew this. Ma Jingyao exclaimed, what he has learned is so complicated, he has even studied medicinal materials. The most terrifying thing is that he is only 24 years old. Li Lang gave a crit. Chen Zan picked this maidenhair fern with ease. This thing is a good thing. It's all money to sell the centipede to the drug store. After a few minutes of walking, Chen Zan paused again, staring into the distance. Uncle Chen. Wang Bin looked up at him, but saw that his eyes were looking far away, staring at him, and they didn't know what was attracted by him. Under the camera, everyone can clearly capture the excitement that is hard to conceal from Chen Zan's face and eyes. I have a bad feeling. Gone. What a familiar look. He laughed. He was laughing wildly. Li Lang's heart sighed. He can't have found another medicinal material, right? At this moment, Chen Zan spoke. It seems, I'm going to make a fortune. Across the screen, watching Chen Zan's lips licking, and the fiery eyes that couldn't stop when talking, they knew that they might have guessed it. This guy seems to have found something amazing again. Under Chen Zan's focus, a lavender plant with an umbrella-like appearance imprinted in his eyes. The camera moved with his gaze, and this thing slowly and clearly emerged in the live broadcast room. Ganoderma. Brother Chen, what kind of shitluck are you? Get rich, really want to get rich. This thing is worth a few million, right? Several millions. Brother Chen, I call your brother, you call my brother, don't you justify half of our friendship? A group of netizens went crazy directly. Ganoderma. Although I don't know the specific price. But they have watched TV series and movies. There are often such things in there, and they are often invaluable adjectives. When they want to come, this stuff will definitely not be cheap. And Chen Zan also said things like getting rich. At this moment, the envy in their hearts almost overflowed the screen. Chen Zan walked over and squatted on this sun-backed wet hillside, tapped his finger on the Ganoderma lucidum, and smiled. I was really lucky today, and I came across such a good thing. Several little boys stared curiously. Uncle Chen, what is this? Chen Zan didn't rush to take it off, and said, this is called Ganoderma lucidum. Then he looked at his eyeglass lens and introduced. Ganoderma lucidum, ancient people called it a fairy grass, but also a sun grass. You can tell from the name, this thing has a high medicinal value. Generally, the price of pure wild Ganoderma lucidum is 400 per jin, and because there are more people picking Ganoderma lucidum in the mountains, the price of wild Ganoderma lucidum has also risen. Larger red Ganoderma lucidum costs 700 per jin, black Ganoderma lucidum costs 800 per jin, and Tibetan Ganoderma lucidum can cost about 3,500 per jin. Having said that, he dug the Ganoderma lucidum stem with his fingers, and with a slight shake, he easily picked it off. And this purple Ganoderma lucidum is a more expensive species among the Ganoderma lucidum, and it can sell for 1,000 jin. On this one, it's about 4 or 2. It's not a problem to sell it for 3 or 400 yuan. Chen Zan said with a smile. Everyone, 3 or 400. Well, how many millions? Who just said several million? Stand up. Your sister, you made a fortune after a few $100s. Can you have a little lofty goal? Gone, it's dropped from a few million to a few hundred yuan, the gap is too big. I am the only one who is suddenly relieved. I'm also relieved. Wang Dao also secretly breathed a sigh of relief. It's like this for everyone. It's like seeing someone walking and picking up $100, but you don't have anything, you will feel very unbalanced. The point is, this 100 yuan was picked up, picked up, picked up. 100 yuan is still so, let alone several million. So when they learned that the Ganoderma lucidum was not a few million at all, only a few hundred yuan, the feeling in their hearts was as happy as they had just completed a great harmony of life with their girlfriend. Chen Zan grabbed Ganoderma lucidum and said with a smile, "Let's go." Several children were envious. They suddenly felt that making money is so easy. You can pick up money just by walking around in the mountains. Suddenly, Chen Zan stopped again, looking ahead, motionless. And this action made everyone feel extremely familiar. A heart beats slightly. A bad premonition flooded everyone's hearts. Brother Chen, don't do this, my heart is not very good. I found Ganoderma lucidum again. Fengming Mountain has not been mined, and it is normal to have Ganoderma lucidum, but isn't this too much? Pick more Ganoderma lucidum, so that you won't have to go hungry in the next month. Wang Dao said, "Is it Ganoderma lucidum?" Ma Jingyao shook his head. It's not like. He looked like he was in a daze. Although Chen Zan is looking ahead, his pupils are not focused, and his attention is obviously not in front of him. Have you heard? Chen Zan suddenly said. Everyone was at a loss, but felt baffled. Chen Zan slowly raised his head. In the live broadcast room, only birds called and insects sang, and occasionally the sound of breeze blowing and scraping leaves. Chen Zan kept this posture, motionless, like a sculpture. When everyone was puzzled, a strange voice suddenly sounded from the tree. What sound is this? It seems like a bird called. I see, Brother Chen is going to dig out the bird's nest. As a lawyer, I must seriously remind you that the bird's nest nowadays is not something you can dig out if you want. I remember someone was sentenced to 10 years in prison for digging out a bird's nest. The sentence is light, mainly because snakes often pop up in the bird's nest. Chen Zan looked up and listened for a while, and said, "There used to be an old man in our village, and outsiders called them ginseng pickers. When I was young, I went into the mountains with my master and watched him picking ginseng. Everyone felt inexplicable. Didn't they dig out the bird's nest? Why are you talking about wild ginseng suddenly? First of all, you have to look at the mountains when you enter the mountains. The growth conditions of wild ginseng are quite harsh, and not all places can grow. Generally, don't go to places where the sun shines when entering the mountains. Try to go to shady hillsides, because wild ginseng likes shade." Quote. Moreover, it is generally found that ginseng is better, and there must be one or even several tall trees around it. Of course, wild ginseng is not so easy to find. Even if you are a professional ginseng picker, you may not be able to find a wild ginseng in a month. When talking about this, Chen Zan paused, and then said, "Of course, in addition to this method, there is a relatively simple method, you can easily find wild ginseng." Brother Chen, how do you understand such a mess? How do I feel? Brother Chen seems to have found wild ginseng. How can wild ginseng be so easy to find? Didn't you listen to him? A ginseng picker may not be able to find one in a month. Then why did Brother Chen suddenly talk about this? I just want to know, what is the simpler way? Wang Dao and the others were also attracted by his words. Lin Fei curiously asked, "Is what he said is true? Are wild ginseng picked like this?" A few people shook their heads. They are not professional ginseng collectors. How can they understand things that such folks would know? Chen Zan also does not sell guanzi, and directly said, "There is a bird in the mountains with gray feathers, red beak and red eyes. This bird specializes in eating ginseng seeds, so it is also called ginseng bird. Moreover, this bird has a very strange sound, very similar." Brother Wang gone. As soon as the voice fell, the weird bird call rang from the tree again. When everyone listened carefully, it really resembled this voice. It seems to be true. Checked it, there are really some people participating in the bird. What does this mean? If there is ginseng bird, is there ginseng? Don't toss, go down the mountain, grab so many centipedes and Ganoderma, hundreds of dollars, don't pick the sesame seeds and lose the watermelon. Chen Zan listened for a while, followed the chirping of the birds, and walked in a certain direction. I am idle and I am idle, try my luck, and see if I can find wild ginseng. The money is enough for my expenses for the next month. This thing is expensive. Will it be millions again? Dog head. 3 cups of wine. I rewarded Buddhas who jumped over the wall, and left a message. Xiao Chen, just look for it. If you can find it, I will accept it. I lost it. This is the deity of the 3 drinkers. It seems to be the deity. Brother Chen, there are local tyrants who are fond of you. The 5th local tyrant on the cat platform reward list. Ooh, I'm crying. As expected to be a big man, the shot is 88,000. People still give Brother Chen a guarantee. You can buy it as long as you dig it. I suspect that even if Brother Chen digs a weed, he will buy it for 3 drinks. Sanbeiju is a local tyrant on the kitten platform. He is featured on every channel, and he especially likes to wander around in the dance area. But there is always a day when the big white legs are too crooked, especially when makeup and beauty are rampant. You don't even know the true appearance of the other person through the screen. You don't even know if the other party is a male or female. So gradually, the 3 glasses of wine were watched every day from the very beginning, and the rewards were like flowing water, and gradually they started to be indifferent. Some time ago, he noticed this program, but never watched it. Still on Weibo, I saw Chen Zan's rejection of Michelin's news and clicked in curiously. As a result, I couldn't stop looking at it. Obviously it's a very ordinary rural life, but let him do it like this. Seeing Chen Zan digging bamboo shoots, he wanted to find a bamboo forest to dig immediately. Watching Chen Zan grab a centipede, he even prepared his chopsticks and bottles. This kind of country life without filters and scripts is the most real, and it really gives him a feeling of yearning. After giving the gift, 3 glasses of wine opened a WeChat group. This group is all friends he met on the internet. There are local tyrants on the kitten platform, and local tyrants on other live broadcast platforms. Different people have different circles. People like Sanchuju, people you know, won't have a low rank. Those with low ranks can't fit into this circle. At Quan Yuan, recommend a show to you, a good batch. Hushan Shing. What's so interesting about the show? Look at the girls. When will the old wine come to me? Go out and have fun, I will find the place. Joe. The talent show. Which one do you like? Tell me, I see if I can get in touch with you. 3 glasses of wine. What kind of talent show is Into the Career, the show that has become so popular recently? Hushangsing. Oh, this show, I've heard of it, but there are no beautiful women. Finally, there is a beautiful woman. It was eliminated within 2 days. 3 glasses of wine. If you don't look at a woman, you will die. Master Chow. Is Lao Ju's surname changed? Not even interested in women. You won't get caught, will you? 3 glasses of wine. Asshole, I just think women are boring, but men are worthy of attention. Everyone. Old wine. You, isn't this scale a bit big? It's over, the old wine is starting to play with men. 3 glasses of wine. A man who is a fart. Don't talk to you, hurry up and watch it, it's very beautiful. After talking about losing a connection, there is no more bubbling. This group of people is also curious, who is it that can make the 3 glasses of wine that used to be unpleasant to be like this? When they clicked on the link, they happened to see Chen Zan walking in the forest, followed by a group of little kids. They watched and chatted in the group. This man is very handsome, no wonder the old wine is tempted. I just want to know, who is 0 and who is 1? Stop discussing. There are already pictures in my mind. Chen Zan followed the ginseng bird for a certain distance, his eyes constantly scanning the surrounding forest. Based on the experience of the farmer and the hunter, he can narrow the scope of the search. After searching for about 20 minutes, Chen Zan's footsteps suddenly stopped, and the whole person seemed to have been cast a holding spell, fixed motionless in the same place. He stared at a slope right in front of him, a smile appeared on his face. The corners of his mouth slowly lifted, and the arc became wider and wider. When everyone saw his expression, their hearts suddenly shook. It's this smile again. You won't really find wild ginseng. No, 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 no. Can't find wild ginseng, we are still good brothers. Chen Zan licked his lips, walked forward, grabbed the hatchet handle and pulled it out, pushed the weeds away, and squatted down. Under the lens, a green leafy plant is clearly presented. The green leaves have clear veins, slender stems, growing on slopes, weeds on the sides, and many litter. It's hard to find if you don't look carefully. After a moment of silence in the live broadcast room, the barrage broke out instantly. Is this a wild ginseng? Is there anyone who knows how to talk about it? I just want to know how much this wild ginseng is, and to say a price, it makes me desperate. The old saying is good, sharing blessings, sharing difficulties. Brother Chen, don't forget each other if you are rich and honorable. I heard that ginseng is based on the number of leaves. The more leaves, the more valuable they are. I count. There are 6 slices in total. How much do you get? Tongrentang, I rewarded 100 Buddhas jumping over the wall, and left a message. Brother Chen, I want this wild ginseng Tongrentang, and the price is absolutely fair. Larentang, I rewarded 100 Buddhas who jumped off the wall and left a message. I am also very interested. There is no need to worry about the price. 100,000. These two seem to be official certified accounts. I'm desperate, crying. Which tycoon tells me how much it is worth? Don't ask. It's even more desperate to ask. 3 glasses of wine. This wild ginseng is very valuable. Medical monk, this is a wild ginseng with 6 pin leaves. The normal market price is about 5 million yuan. As soon as the price came out, the comment area was all over. 3 glasses of wine were taken aback. It's not that I can't afford the money, but I didn't expect the price of a wild ginseng to be so high. Wang Dao is already stupid. Chen Zan, the wild ginseng he found is so valuable. Several people were puzzled. After all, they were not professional, and they were not very clear about the value. However, these rewarded accounts are officially certified accounts and cannot be faked. What's more, people sell medicines, and they all buy them on site in the live broadcast room, so there can be no mistakes. The live broadcast room was full of excitement, the data soared online, and a group of netizens came over after hearing the news. I heard someone dug wild ginseng. I lost it, the wild ginseng from the 6th grade leaf. Gone, this thing is worth 5 million. Jealousy separates me. Chen Zan didn't know what happened in the live broadcast room. He put the hatchet aside, counted the leaves, and said, there are many kinds of ginseng, including round ginseng, forest ginseng, ginseng, and wild ginseng. Among them, wild ginseng is ginseng. The most expensive one is also the one with the highest medicinal value, and the others are more or less artificially cultivated in it. The one I found is a wild ginseng with 6th grade leaves. It grows in the mountains. It is a legendary goblin and a spiritual creature that is naturally raised. The ancients called it the fairy grass, the king of herbs. The year of wild ginseng is mainly based on the leaves. The first leaf can grow in 1 year, the second leaf takes 3 years, and the third leaf takes 10 years. The fourth leaf is for 20 years, and it will take another 100 years after the fourth leaf to grow the fifth leaf. At this time, the wild ginseng is the fifth leaf. The veritable century-old wild ginseng is a real treasure. After the 5th grade leaves, it will take another 100 years for the 6th leaf to grow. When 6 leaves are over, the wild ginseng will not grow any more leaves. The wild ginseng I found has at least 200 years. If you want to know the specific year, you have to dig it out. As for the price, at the first world collector level ginseng auction, Niani wild ginseng once sold 10 million. The year of my plant is still uncertain. I have to dig it out to know, but it's just the current 6th grade ginseng. Looking at the year, it shouldn't be a problem to sell 5 million. Chen Zan gave everyone a simple knowledge of the year of wild ginseng. And this knowledge, to him, seemed to be imprinted in his mind. Brother Chen, do you know so much for Mao? Brother Chen, I understand a little bit. I always thought Brother Chen was useless except for cooking delicious food. Please forgive me for my short-sightedness. It's so showy, I accidentally made Brother Chen pretend to be a profound force. Everyone was already kneeled by the profound knowledge that Chen Zan could tell 1, 2, 3, and what he said was all right. Ma Jingyao smiled bitterly. This professional challenge looks like there will be no surprises. If the wild ginseng can really be sold, he can take a vacation in the next month. Everyone has nothing to say. It's only the first day, Just pave the road behind. Other challengers. How can this be played? Do you want to play with you? Turn the table up. After Chen Zan introduced, he began to dig wild ginseng. Instead of using a hatchet, he dug directly with both hands. He dug carefully. It was a technical job. You should know that the thinnest roots of wild ginseng are only the thickness of hairs, which will be cut off if you don't pay attention. In that case, the quality of wild ginseng is incomplete and the price will be greatly reduced. Several pharmacies in Tongrentan looked at Chen Zan digging wild ginseng, and asked for the contact information of Chen Zan as soon as possible. Centennial wild ginseng is very rare. The place where ginseng was picked the most is Changbai Mountain. But Changbai Mountain is so big, no matter how many people gather ginseng, it is impossible to go everywhere. What's more, wild ginseng is said to be spiritual. The older the year, the more so. In this era, if you want to find a wild ginseng that is over 100 years old, you can never find it. This is why, but wild ginseng that has been used for more than 300 years can sell for 10 million yuan. Chen Zan concentrated on digging wild ginseng for more than half an hour. During this period, the online live streaming room has soared from 8 million all the way, breaking the 10 million mark. After the broadcast today, Chen Zan's online presence is high, but it is not as scary as last month. After all, there was a week of rest in the middle, and many people still don't know that he has already started the second challenge. On Weibo, the news that Chen Zan dug a century-old wild ginseng also rushed to the hot search in an instant. A day earning 5 million is a kind of experience. Suddenly, tens of millions of netizens watched Chen Zan dig wild ginseng in the live broadcast room. All kinds of complex emotions of envy, jealousy and hatred were intertwined. Under everyone's attention, Chen Zan finally dug out this wild ginseng. He held the wild ginseng stem in his left hand, dragged it with his right hand, and took it out of the soil with very light movements. At the moment when the wild ginseng was dug up, the heads of several well-known chain pharmacies all over the country stared unblinkingly. They want to know the specific year of this wild ginseng. 1, 2, 3. This wild ginseng is 500 years old. Chen Zan beamed his eyes and pointed to the bottom of the wild ginseng. Did you see this? This is called ginseng head. Wild ginseng does not grow leaves after the 6th grade leaves. It only grows a ginseng head. 100 years old, a ginseng head. This wild ginseng there are 3 ginseng heads, and together it is a 500-year year. Tongrentan, I rewarded 100 Buddhas jumping off the wall, and left a message, 20 million, Tongrentan accepted. Larentang, I rewarded 100 Buddhas jumping off the wall, and left a message, 21 million, Larentang wants it. Madhu Medical College, I rewarded 100 Buddhas jumping over the wall, and left a message, 22 million, our hospital accepted it, and kept it as the treasure of the town hall. The rewards are like raining madly, and almost everyone's rewards start with 100,000 soft sister coins. Usually this kind of large rewards, there is a luxury. But now, it is constantly appearing in Chen Zan's live studio like flowing water. And every time it appears, it will appear on the whole site, attracting many people to come. However, although 100 Buddhas jumped over the wall, it was not enough to see the wild ginseng whose total price was tens of millions. The 3 glasses of wine stared at the rewards on the screen, a little lost. He originally wanted to support Chen Zan, so he said that, no matter how many years he wants it. But whoever wanted it, Chen Zan found a 500-year-old wild ginseng. 20 million, he took it out. But the problem now is that there is a market and priceless for this stuff. The local tyrants of Hushanxing and his party were also taken aback by this scene. What's the origin of this anchor? Is it so fierce? Can you earn more than 20 million if you go up the mountain and play in the mud? It's a horse god. Let's go. Chen Zan took the wild ginseng and greeted him. When he was about to get the hatchet, he glanced at the corner of his eye, and something moved in his sight. When he saw clearly, his pupils shrank suddenly. Less than half a meter away from Wang Bin's side, there was a snake shaped like a dead leaf and as thick as a forearm. It's a 5-step snake. The snake's head curled up and placed an attacking posture towards Wang Bin. Almost for the first time, Chen Zan grabbed the hatchet and threw it out at Wang Bin with lightning speed. Tens of millions of netizens in the live broadcast room, as well as Wang Dao from the program group, were all taken aback when they saw Chen Zhan's action. Immediately there was panic. Is Brother Chen crazy? Why did he kill someone with a knife? Chen Zhan moved too fast, too suddenly. When someone reacted, the knife had flown out. Wang Bin was also frightened by the knife. Seeing the hatchet flying towards him, his small face stained with mud turned pale. Puff! The sound of knives and meat joints sounded. The camera followed, a 5-step snake, in a pile of fallen leaves not far from Wang Bin's feet, its body twisted and tumbling crazily. The head of the snake was pierced by a hatchet and nailed to the mud. This sword technique is really ridiculous. It scared me to death. I thought it was for the child. Me too, mainly because it was too sudden to react. Chen Zhe Niu's batch, this knife technique is too accurate. Chen Zhan flicked out between the electric light and flint, and accurately penetrated the head of the 5-step snake. This coherent movement made everyone shout for excitement. But only Chen Zhan knew how thrilling it was just now. Most snakes are docile. If you don't provoke them, snakes won't bite you. But the 5-step snake is an alternative. It is a kind of poisonous snake that will actively attack people. And the venomous snake is extremely venomous, a bit more venomous than the cobra. The most frightening thing is that this snake has scales and patterns like dead leaves, and it just likes to crawl around in fallen leaves. If you don't open your eyes and look carefully, you can't tell if it is a snake or a leaf. Chen Zhan walked over, stepped on the snake's head, pulled out the hatchet, and then waved the knife again. With a swish, the snake's head was cut off, and a small dirt pit was dug, and the snake's head was buried in the soil. The vitality of the snake is very strong. After the snake's head is cut off, it will take 2 or 3 hours for its nerves to die completely, so it must be buried, otherwise it will still attack people. Chen Zhan said briefly and looked at Wang Bin, scared. No, Wang Bin swallowed, obviously shocked. Had it not been for Chen Zhan's knife, Wang Bin would have been bitten by now. Let's go. Chen Zhan put the headless 5-step snake on his shoulders and walked down the mountain. He walked ahead, followed by a few children. What is the danger? Chen Zhan can also find out the first time. After half an hour, they walked down from the mountain. Chen Zhan kept sending them home, and then went back by himself. Back in the yard, Chen Zhan put the wild ginseng on the table casually, grabbed the snake and went to the pool to clean it. This is a rare delicious meal, Chen Zhan said. Although this snake is poisonous, the meat is really fragrant. If you handle it, stew a pot of snake soup, it is simply delicious on earth. Peel the snake skin first, just like that, take it along the edge of the knife, and then pull it hard. Chen Zhan spoke, and kept covering up with his hands. With a little effort, a complete snake skin was pulled off. Throwing the snake skin aside, he grabbed the hatchet and cut it against his stomach. With a swipe down, the snake was easily cut open. Never use the internal organs. Snakes have a lot of parasites. Don't listen to remedies and eat snake gall to improve your eyesight. Instead of curing your eyes, you got a parasitic disease. Chen Zhan discarded all the internal organs, and after cleaning it up, he chopped it into pieces with a few strokes. Chop the snake meat, throw it on a plate, and boil water in a pot. After the water boils, throw it in directly. Everyone looked at it. 1 second was a complete snake, and the next second it was already lying in the boiling water. Diaresis. I have witnessed the tragic life of a 5-step snake. Quote. Unbelievable saliva drips from the corner of the mouth. Snake lovers strongly condemn. Brother Chen, it's only less than 3 o'clock, why are you braising so early? It's not time for dinner yet. Stewed the snake soup, Chen Zhan washed his hands and sat down in the courtyard. He took out his cell phone and wanted to see how the live broadcast was performing today. At first glance, I was surprised. The number of people online broke 10 million on the first day. Is he so popular? When those pharmacies saw Chen Zhan watching the live broadcast, they immediately appeared. As a result, the previous crazy rewarding situation was once again staged. Tongrentang, I rewarded a Buddha who jumped over the wall and left a message. Brother Chen, I want wild ginseng, it will be higher than the market price. Larentang, I rewarded a Buddha jumping over the wall, and left a message. We at Larentang are full of sincerity, Brother Chen, sell it to me. Madhu Medical College, I rewarded one Buddha jumping over the wall and left a message. Mr. Chen, please sell this wild ginseng to our hospital. When Chen Zan wanted to see what was going on in the live broadcast room, he was shocked by this wave of rewards. Take a closer look. Good guy, on the daily gift list, the series of zeros makes him dazzled. 100,000. Chen Zan blinked and counted again, still so many. There are more than 100,000 rewards per account, and there are 7 such tyrants. In other words, just for a while, there were more than 700,000. After being split with the kitten platform, you can also get 350,000. But after watching the live broadcast for a while, he knew what was going on. These people came rushing to the wild ginseng they dug. Mordu Medical College has the highest bid, 23 million. And after they bid, no one else bids. Chen Zan estimated the price in his mind, and the difference Wang is not much around this price. When he was about to speak, an incoming call jumped out. A strange number. Hello, who? Hello, Mr. Chen, I'm the Dean of Magic City Medical College, Chen Rong. Hello Dean Chen. Chen Rongdao. Mr. Chen, I am calling mainly for this wild ginseng. I hope you can sell the wild ginseng to me. As for the price, if you are not satisfied, we can discuss it again. Chen Zan said. 23 million is already very high, no matter how high it is not worth it. Chen Rong's heart was overjoyed. Mr. Chen, do you agree? Yeah, Chen Zan said, but I'm currently participating in the show, so I can't send it to you. Chen Rong immediately interrupted. I will send someone to pick it up. That's okay. If you have money but don't make money, that's a fool. Although wild ginseng is precious, it is like chicken ribs to Chen Zan. Gene drink is more effective than this thing. After confirming with Chen Rong, Chen Zan hung up the phone. And Tong Ren Tang and other buyers clearly heard what Chen Zan said just now. Their hearts sank, knowing that this wild ginseng was preempted by the Magic Capital Medical College. 500 years of wild ginseng. Wang Dao and the others suddenly felt a little heartbroken. These people, with the exception of Zhang Zhanmin, a few ordinary policemen, are high-income people shouting. It's so easy to make millions in a year. Especially Lin Fei. She is an original pop singer. In the past few years, when she was the most profitable, she earned more than 10 million yuan a year. But that's it, compared with Chen Zan, it's still a far cry. It's not even one level at all. Going around the mountain, dug a wild ginseng and earned more than 20 million. This is really just a blow to people. After finishing the call, Chen Zan glanced at the live broadcast room, then looked at the drone, and said, Dean Chen from the Magic Capital Medical College just called and has purchased wild ginseng. For those of you who could not buy it, sorry, as for the gifts you just sent, you will send me a private message and I will return it to your account. People came here with wild ginseng, otherwise they would not give gifts or rewards. He hasn't bought it now, and he can't feel at ease holding the money. Tongrentang, although it's a pity that I didn't buy them, these gifts are for Brother Chen. How can there be any reason to return the items? Larentang, I rewarded 10 Buddhas jumping over the wall and left a message. Brother Chen, next time I go to the mountains to find wild ginseng, remember to keep it for me, I booked in advance. Chen Zan smiled and said, okay, dig it up again, I must keep it for you first. On the other side, the local tyrant's WeChat group. Hushangsing. Good deed, old wine, this kid is okay, so hungry. Chao Yi. If the wild ginseng is true, then he has no luck. Professor. The wild ginseng is real, and it is not luck for him, but he has a solid understanding of it. 3 glasses of wine. How about it, did I introduce you well? Hu Shengxing. His hand that killed the snake made my eyes shine. It was really awesome. Chao Yi. It's really awesome. It's not easy to make such a reaction in such a short period of time. This group adds up to 7 people, and the content of the usual chat and discussion, except for women, is still women. But today, it was uncharacteristically. With the recommendation of 3 glasses of wine, everyone was discussing Chen Zan. Being in their small circle is really a very magical thing. Chen Zan put the wild ginseng in the house, and then returned to the kitchen. He grabbed the purple Ganoderma and washed it carefully. After washing, grabbed the kitchen knife, swish, is just a few dollars. This, isn't it going to be sold? Sell, what are you kidding? My brother Chen is short of this money. Will you get a nosebleed if you eat this way? Brother Chen lives in this mountain village, because Mao is different from others. A dish is only a few hundred yuan in raw materials, it's really extravagant. A few hundred yuan. You can't settle the bill, kid. Do you know how much the 5-step snake is? If it is such a big one, if a villager catches it, someone will collect more than 1,000 yuan. Is this snake so expensive? Nonsense, big brother 5-step snake, you thought it was a cauliflower snake, it's very expensive. A meal, eating half of my salary. Big guy earns 4,000 a month. I'm so envious, when will I get 4,000 a month? Quote. I suspect you are humiliating me. Chen Zan poured the chopped Ganoderma lucidum into the pot and fry a few times. The conditions are limited, so I don't pay attention to the. There is a saying that high-end ingredients often only require the simplest cooking. Cover the pot and let it sit for a few hours. Snake meat and Ganoderma lucidum are not easy to simmer, so they should be simmered slowly over a low heat. Putting the lid on the pot, Chen Zan went around behind the earthen stove and added some thick wood. These wood fires can burn for more than 40 minutes, and even if the fire is gone, the temperature of the charcoal fire is equivalent to the small fire of a gas stove. After getting it done, Chen Zan stood up, clapped his hands, and walked out. It's time to solve the centipede. He took the tea jar with the centipede and didn't open it immediately. Instead, he picked up a kettle filled with boiling water, and then opened the lid. You have to be careful when you get centipedes. This kind of tea can is not high enough, and with so many centipedes, it's easy to crawl out if you don't worry about it. It's also easy to dispose of centipedes. You can just scald them with boiling water, which means they will smell bad when they are hot. Chen Zan opened the lid and climbed up after seeing a few centipedes. He moved fast and not messy, so he poured boiling water into it. A white vapor suddenly emerged from the tea can, accompanied by a disgusting stench. Chen Zan had been prepared for a long time, so he avoided it in the first place. After the boiling water was blanched, Chen Zan buckled the tea can back on the ground. At this time, more than 100 centipedes were lying quietly on the ground. For the hot centipede, put a bamboo stick against the head and tail, straighten it, and let it dry in the sun. You can take it to the pharmacy to sell it later. Chen Zan looked around for a while but couldn't find the bamboo sticks, so he put the centipede away and planned to go out to chop the knotted bamboo and come back to make it by himself. Although not specifically doing this, as a king farmer, making a gadget like bamboo sticks is very easy to do. On the way to the bamboo forest and passing by this acre of fertile land, Chen Zan suddenly remembered that he has not herded cattle today. It will be evening in 2 more hours, and there is no time to go now. Vegetables are still being stewed in the pot at home, no one can watch it. Chen Zan struggled for a few seconds, then suddenly slapped his head. How could he forget the genetic drink? Come and see you in a while. Chen Zan shouted to the buffalo from a distance, and continued to walk towards the bamboo forest. The water buffalo looked up and glanced at the 2-legged beast with big bull eyes, obviously not understanding what he meant. Brother Chen didn't graze the cows today, will the cows be hungry? The cattle don't have to be released, just cut 10 caddies of grass in a while. Why did Brother Chen go? Under everyone's puzzled eyes, Chen Zan came to the bamboo forest, looking for suitable bamboo while walking. The blessing of the mountain is triggered. Congratulations to the host for obtaining bamboo weaving. Bamboo weaving, click to learn. You will be proficient in all bamboo weaving. People give pillows when I doze off. He clicked to learn in his heart, and after a short time, the knowledge related to bamboo weaving poured into his mind. Looking at the emerald green bamboos in front of him, all kinds of bamboo weaving methods automatically appeared in his mind. Bamboo baskets, sieves, and even bamboo umbrellas. As long as he wants to make them, he can easily make them. Not to mention, the little bamboo stick. That's it. Chen Zan picked a piece of bamboo, about the thickness of his forearm. With a flick of the hatchet and a click, the bamboo was cut from the bottom. The bamboo fell and crashed against other bamboos. When it fell to the ground, Chen Zan dragged and chopped off the forks on it, turning it into a bare bamboo pole, and then walked away on his shoulders. When passing the ridge, the big water buffalo looked up again, seeming to be very curious what the 2-legged beast was doing. Come and see you in a while, he said to the buffalo, regardless of whether he understood it or not. Back in the yard, Chen Zan threw the bamboo on the ground, moved a pony to it, and sat on the ground. He put the bamboo on his lap, holding the knife in his right hand, and said, "Living in the countryside is good and bad. Okay, the air is good, the scenery is good, and the house is big. There are many bad things. The school is far away, the hospital is far away, there is no shopping mall, and there is no restaurant. You have to do everything you want to eat. You can either go to the county to buy it or make it yourself. The house arranged for me by the program group has been seen by everyone. The weeds in the backyard grow old and there is nothing but a bed in the house. I want to pick some wild vegetables, even a basket of wild vegetables. No. However, the wisdom of our people is infinite, if not, then create." With that, the hatchet in Chen Zan's hand swiped on the bamboo and landed at a position of more than 1 meter, and then the knife fell with a flash of cold light, and the bamboo was easily cut off. Repeated this several times, this bamboo, which can be almost 7 or 8 meters long, is the 6 bamboo sticks that have been chopped down to the same length. Brother Chen's sword skills have not fallen, he is still as fast as ever. "No, what are you doing cutting bamboo for? Stupid, don't you say, Brother Chen. There is no basket for picking wild vegetables. Obviously, we need to make a bamboo basket. Can you do it? It's not easy to do. The last time I went to Hong Kong, they had a hand-woven bamboo basket that I dared to sell. It was so expensive. This is still expensive. This is a hand-woven eldest brother. How expensive is it?" Wang Dao's eyes were weird and said, "He can weave bamboo baskets." Ma Jingyao smiled and said, "He knows how complicated things are. How do I feel that there is nothing he doesn't know?" Zhang Zhanmin frowned. He didn't know why he felt that way, maybe it was his instinct as a policeman. After cutting off the bamboo, a section of more than 20 centimeters of bamboo was left, and he did not lose it either. The purpose of cutting bamboo was to get some bamboo sticks, but it was a surprise to get the ability to make bamboo weaving. He grabbed this section of bamboo, and lightly knocked the end of the hatchet with his right hand. With a click, the bamboo joints were easily split. The next job is very simple, which is to split the bamboo repeatedly. The making of bamboo sticks is very simple, that is, continuously splitting the bamboo into bamboo strips of the same thickness. Chopsticks are also made in this way. But for those who are just learning, the cutting is very slow, and they need to use a pen to mark the bamboo, otherwise it is easy to have a thick one and a thin one. But Chen Zan doesn't need it. At the moment he grabbed the bamboo and hatchet, it was clear to him how much force should be used and which angle should be used to cut the bamboo. If someone took a ruler to measure, they would be horrified to find that the thickness of each bamboo strip cut by Chen Zan did not exceed 3 millimeters. What a terrifying precision! And city fell in the eyes of everyone. At this moment, Chen Zan seemed to press 10 times the speed. His hands were like machines, and the hatchet had only 2 movements in his hands. Lift up, fall down. Then I saw the bamboo strips neatly piled together. Okay, so fast. Brother Chen does this at home, right? Brother Chen's skillful movements make people feel distressed. When I saw that I didn't do less when I was young, it is estimated that I have relied on this to earn tuition since I was young. Wipe, won't it be so miserable, right? Stop talking, I'm already crying. In less than 2 minutes before and after, Chen Zan had already cleaved more than 100 bamboo sticks from a bamboo joint with the thickness of one arm. He grabbed it casually and walked under the eaves, where the centipedes were all placed. He squatted down, a centipede with a bamboo stick. If you make bamboo sticks for sale, you have to use sandpaper to remove the burrs, and then boil them in water, just like making chopsticks. But I use it myself, so I'm not so particular about it, and there is no sandpaper here, just be careful. Seeing his skillful movements, he straightened a centipede in a few strokes. More than 100 centipedes were supported, leaning against the corner of the wall, basking in the sun. After getting the centipede, Chen Zan went back and continued to make bamboo baskets. At this time, Wang Bin and several children suddenly appeared outside the courtyard, and shouted, "Uncle Chen! Why are you here?" Chen Zan opened the door and greeted them in. Wang Bin grabbed a mineral water bottle full of centipedes in his hands. "Uncle Chen, how can I kill this?" "Hey, feelings are this thing." Chen Zan smiled and said, "The boiling water burns to death, and then use bamboo sticks, come here." He didn't say anything, but took them directly to the corner. Several little boys looked at the centipedes in a row, and they immediately understood. However, they don't have so many bamboo sticks. Chen Zan said, I have some more bamboo sticks. You can use them first, and I will get you some more. It's hot right here, there are also in the boiling water house. Thank you, Uncle Chen, several children said politely. Although their families are not wealthy and their parents usually work in other places, they also know that they have to say thank you to trouble others. Chen Zan smiled and said no thanks, and went to chop some bamboo sticks for them. They are scalded to death right here, straightened. Don't take it home, just put it here to dry. When it was done, the children did not rush away, but squatted aside, curiously watching Chen Zan making bamboo. Uncle Chen, what are you doing? Make a bamboo basket. I think my grandpa made it. A child said, my grandpa is amazing. The bamboo basket he made is very strong. My grandpa will make up too. My grandpa can still ride a motorcycle. My grandpa caught a hare. Somehow, it suddenly became a scene where these children competed against each other. Chen Zan laughed, but at this moment he heard a little boy say, my grandpa dares to eat shit, does your grandpa dare? Chen Zan, ha ha ha, I laughed so hard. God stepped on horses to eat shit and laughed to pee. These kids can talk about crosstalk, it's so funny. Children's words are not jealous. I don't know what their grandfather thinks. Chen Zan smiled and continued to make bamboo baskets. The bamboo joints are more than 1 meter long, and if you use the trick just now, it takes more time, and you have to stand up, which is troublesome. So Chen Zan directly clamped the hatchet with his legs, then grabbed the bamboo joint and knocked gently against the blade. The bamboo split immediately and split into 2 halves. After finding the rhythm, the next step is to do the same action over and over again. His movements were extremely fast, and within a minute, he had successfully divided this bamboo into bamboo strips. Without delay, he grabbed the second bamboo joint and continued. Everyone's eyes widened. Mom, what kind of hand speed is this? It feels faster than before. I always said that Brother Chen's hand speed can make rich women happy. So, Brother Chen has practiced this since he was young, not for survival, but for the rich woman. Brother, isn't it just to survive for the rich woman? It makes sense, I can't refute it. In just 5 minutes, a complete bamboo disappeared, replaced by a pile of bamboo strips. Someone compares the previous screenshots with the current scene, and the comparison is a bit daunting. In these few minutes, what happened? Chen Zan grabbed 2 bamboo sticks and said, it is actually very troublesome to make a bamboo basket. Broken bamboo, roasting, removing knots, layering, fixing color, smoothing, scribing, smoothing. The process inside really needs to be studied carefully, it may have more than a dozen steps. First of all, start with the bottom, like this. As Chen Zan spoke, he began to compose the bottom line. 3 times 5 divided by 2, 10 seconds later, the bottom of a bamboo basket appeared. He picked up the compiled bottom and showed it to the drone. Look, isn't it easy? Everyone was stunned. Do you care about this? Call it simple. Brother Chen's understanding of simplicity. We are different. Everyone has different hands. Brother Chen, is this not a right hand? Chen Zan said. It's done from the bottom up, the following is the preparation of other parts. To prepare a bamboo basket, there are actually 3 main processes. Starting, weaving, and locking. I use the simplest warp and weft knitting method. Of course, if I have enough time, I can also make some patterns. Chen Zan said with his mouth, his hands did not stop. Soon, the general appearance of a bamboo basket was formed in his hands. Everyone has long been dumbfounded. Then Chen Zan started the last step, locking his mouth. 2 minutes later, a complete bamboo basket appeared. Wang Bin said, Uncle Chen, you are so amazing, you can make up much faster than my grandfather. It's okay. Chen Zan smiled faintly, pretending to be humble. Wang Dao and others also watched very carefully. As Chen Zan explained and compiled, they were all immersed in it. After finishing the compilation, he said, so professional. Li Lang said, I feel that even without that wild ginseng, he can live very easily this month. Indeed, Ma Jingyao said, with his ability, there are almost no obstacles to living in the countryside. It's no wonder he dared to choose this career with a 0 completion rate. As expected, he has 2 brushes. Zhang Jianmen smiled and said, I am more and more interested in him now. In their eyes, Chen Zan is like a treasure. As you continue to dig, he will continue to surprise you. After the bamboo basket was prepared, Chen Zan stood up and tried it directly with his back on his shoulders. Not bad, Chen Zan said. Although it is not as good as the finished product sold on the street, 1 month is more than enough. When people are serious about weaving, they have to remove the burrs and roast them. Although he has the ability of bamboo weaving, he has omitted many steps. But it was enough for him. He put the bamboo basket aside, and said to Wang Bin, You centipedes, please let me here first. It will be dried tomorrow, and I will help you sell it in the county. Yeah, thank you Uncle Chen. What are you polite with uncle? Chen Zan smiled. I made snake soup, and I will eat some more later. No need. Grandma has already cooked dinner, we will go home to eat later. It's very common to go to eat in the countryside, but it's usually the case that the adult is not at home today, so he should talk to the villagers in advance and let the children go to their house for lunch or something. When adults like this are at home, they usually won't go to other people to eat, and if the elderly in the family know about it, they will blame the children. Chen Zan said, It's okay, just eat a small bowl. Uncle, I stewed the snake soup, it tastes delicious. He walked towards the kitchen, and after a while, a scent floated from the kitchen. Several children swallowed. The smell is really good. Chen Zan turned around, took out the genetic drink from the blind spot that the drone could not photograph, poured it into the bowl, and then poured the genetic drink in the bowl into the pot seemingly casually. This thing is precious, but Chen Zan is not lacking. And for the child to eat, he doesn't care about it. After pouring in, I added a few sticks of firewood to look at the snake meat and Ganoderma lucidum. Chen Zan said, It has to be simmered for a while. He took the remaining half bottle of gene drink in his hand and walked out. I'm going to see the cow, are you going? Go. Go, watch the buffalo. The child played with a big name and left after Chen Zan. On the way, Chen Zan cut some fodder, came to the ridge, and put the fodder in front of the buffalo. Wang Bin and several children squatted aside, staring at the buffalo with wide eyes open. Although they grew up in the village, they often saw adults herding cattle, but they themselves had never herded cattle, nor had they had such close contact. It feels very fresh today at such a close distance. The bull's head is so big. Eat and eat, this cow has eaten grass. Quote question mark question mark question mark. What's so surprising about cows eating grass? Isn't Brother Chen afraid of cows? If I want to change me, I really don't dare to be so close. If I hit me, I can fly directly to me. After Chen Zan put down the forage, he was holding a half bottle of gene drink, but in his heart he was thinking, try the abilities of the animal trainer. He stood up, stretched out his right hand and touched the buffalo's head. The buffalo's eyelids were raised, but he didn't respond. Cows have a very docile surname most of the time, especially the water buffalo being raised in captivity. In addition, cattle have a very high IQ. If someone can bear the surname, feed them from childhood to adulthood, and keep training them, they can also be trained to be like a circus animal. When Chen Zan put the hand stick on the buffalo's head, he immediately felt the inner activity of the buffalo at this moment. Niu, why does this two-legged beast touch me? So hungry, the grass is so delicious. The thinking is still very simple. Chen Zan smiled, touched his head again, then twisted the cap of the bottle and moved closer to the buffalo's nose. Just getting closer, the buffalo stopped grazing. Chen Zan touched its head again. Niu, I really want to drink it. It really worked. No one can refuse the fragrance of genetic drinks. He poured water in his palm and stretched it out, and the buffalo immediately drank his tongue. Half a bottle of water, which was drunk by the buffalo in a short while. In the eyes of outsiders, Chen Zan just fed some water. Chen Zan touched its head while feeding water. A bottle of water quickly established a sense of trust between one person and one cow. Chen Zan could feel that this water buffalo did not reject himself at all, and he was very affectionate to himself. And this is all the credit of the gene drink. Without this, with the ability of his animal trainer, it would take 2 or 3 days to tame it to such a degree of closeness to oneself. I will take you to eat green grass tomorrow. Let's rest here today. The water buffalo understood Chen Zan's words, moved twice at him, and then nodded. I'm going. Am I dazzled? Did this bull just nod his head? I saw it too. This cow can understand humans. It's not possible. It's so good. Can you understand human words? It must be an illusion, absolutely an illusion. He said so, but the scene just now was very clear. After Chen Zan finished speaking, the buffalo did nod his head. Maybe it's a coincidence. It was past 4 o'clock when I came back from the field. It was too early. Chen Zan began to prepare dinner. Steamed rice, took 2 more bamboo shoots and cut them. Wang Bin's children stayed in the yard and played. When he was almost busy, Chen Zan opened the lid of the pot, and a burst of fragrance pours in. He picked up a piece of snake meat and took a bite. Well, the meat is cooked, very tender, and delicious. He shouted out, Wang Bin, come over and have some soup. A few children ran in, and were suddenly speechless by the strong fragrance. 5-step snakes are generally not long, but very fat. The piece Chen Zan slaughtered can be as fast as 10 catties, and after removing the internal organs and peeling the skin, it still weighs more than 6 catties. He served every child a bowl. Drink it. Thank you, Uncle Chen. A few children said thank you, and they couldn't wait to drink. After drinking the soup and eating meat, without using chopsticks, he grabbed the snake meat and ate it. What evil did I do depends on this. As everyone knows, Brother Chen is a gourmet with unparalleled cooking skills. The thought of going through such a food session every day in the future makes me desperate. After eating the snake soup, Wang Bin's opinion was still unfulfilled, and the bowls in his hands were licked clean enough to reflect light. Uncle Chen, your soup is delicious. It's really delicious, even more fragrant than my grandma's. Being so complimented by a few kids, Chen Zan suddenly felt a little ecstatic. Just drink it. Go, I will send you back. Sending the children home, and saying hello to their grandparents, Chen Zan came back. I have been busy until 5 o'clock, the rice is cooked, and the bamboo shoots are ready. This is his dinner, white rice, snake soup, fried bamboo shoots. An ordinary dinner. After dinner, it was dark. As it approaches April, it gets dark very fast. Chen Zan boiled water and washed his face and feet. After finishing his busy work, he stood in the yard and looked around before turning around and entering the house. It's only 6 or 7 o'clock, Brother Chen is going to sleep. The countryside is so dark, it looks a little scary. What can I do without sleeping? There is no entertainment in the countryside. You can do it by hand. Quote ? You are wrong. The bed in the room is a trampoline, very soft and very elastic. The quilt is also new, and the show crew didn't make any moldy quilts, so it's a conscience. After he lay down, the lottery was drawn as usual. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Gene Drink. Congratulations. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Spirit Earth. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Kaiji Dan. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the professional card. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Grandmaster level stakes. He checked them one by one. Spirit soil 10 kg per serving, contains nutrients. Even if it is a dry seed, it can be full of vitality. The plant growth cycle is shortened, and the food grown in the spiritual soil has more nutrients and a richer taste. Kaiji Dan, after eating, you can turn on the wisdom. Warning. Only for animal consumption. Grandmaster level pile step, let him be the wind and rain. Let him shake the mountain, I will not move, I am as stable as a rock. Stand up every day to keep fit. Looking at these things, Chen Zan's eyes were shining. Good thing. If he had spiritual soil before he dug out the wild ginseng, let alone a month, it would be a year, he would have nothing to worry about. It can make plants mature quickly, and the food that is grown is far superior to ordinary food in terms of nutrition and taste. In other words, the food grown in spiritual soil has the speed of greenhouse vegetables and the quality of farm vegetables. And on the basis of the two, it has improved several levels. There is also this Kaiji pill. Although it can't be eaten by itself, it is also a good thing. Especially with the ability of his animal trainer, it is perfect. There is also a career card. But he can't use it for the time being, and this professional card is not the kind of designated professional card that he drew before. What kind of occupation he can get depends on luck. In the final step, Chen Zan felt as tasteless as Beastmaster deterrence at the beginning. But when he clicked to learn, he immediately noticed that the horse step was unusual. Stake step, also called horse step, is the foundation of all kung fu. Standing for a long time has many benefits to the body. After the lottery draw, Chen Zan fell asleep contentedly. On the internet, this moment is when the traffic is the highest. Hot search at a glance, almost all topics related to Chen Zan. What kind of experience is it to make 23 million a day? 23 million, I cried, this is a number I can't even dream of. The first day of Chen's challenge today, I specially asked for a day off to watch at home. Can you understand my feelings? I really understand, because I also watched it for a day. In short, it's very, well, let's not talk about it. I plan to work overtime for a month. It's also a farmer. Why are the other challengers so miserable and Brother Chen so happy? It's okay, I've seen those stars who have lived well. This is only the first day, there is no way to compare, wait for 2 more days. As long as these stars don't have a script, they can insist on live broadcasting the inverted laba for 3 days. Brother Chen throws that knife out, he is really handsome. The live broadcast I watched at the time made me silly. I thought Brother Chen was going to that kid. I always thought that the 5-pace snake was terrible, but now I realized that Brother Chen was even more fearful. I am so envious of those children, they can eat the snake soup stewed by Brother Chen. A small village in the south of the Yangtze River, where the mountains and rivers are beautiful and the scenery is excellent. The celebrity Zhang Xiao is a little fresh meat, this time he also smelled the taste, rubbing Chen Zan's heat. Because it is also broadcast live 24 hours a day, the shooting staff can't help him. He really has to carry out the most authentic rural life in this way. Surviving a busy day is very tiring, and people are also very confused. He has no experience of living in the countryside and doesn't know what he should do. He is flying around like a headless fly, without direction. I don't even know what to eat tomorrow. In this rural house where he lives, there is nothing, and the fields are full of weeds. If you want to grow vegetables, you have to plow the land first. But he doesn't know any of these at all. Zhang Xiao's situation is also the situation encountered by other stars at the moment. Before the heat, they thought it would be easy. After all, the company or studio behind them planned for them. They just need to follow the script. But here comes the problem. Their company and studio are also writing scripts for the countryside for the first time. How to play without even an experienced person. But fortunately, there is Chen Zan. In their hearts, Chen Zan is simply a beacon in the mist, giving them a clear path. Dig bamboo shoots in the bamboo forest. This is the easiest way to survive. If you want to improve your life, you can catch centipedes and dig herbs. Of course, they couldn't have Chen Zan's ability to pinch the centipede's head with one hand. But they can use chopsticks. Although the efficiency is a little slower, it can guarantee a certain amount of income. As long as they can put down their bodies and lose their star burdens, it is not difficult to earn dozens of dollars a day by catching centipedes. In the countryside, dozens of yuan is enough to live a day. If you are lucky, maybe you can find some herbs and the like. These are all income. Anyway, Chen Zan has shown the correct way to open the farmer profession. Whether they can keep up depends on whether they work hard enough. At this time, Zhang Xiao just finished washing with water. After a busy day, he felt very tired, although he didn't do anything. He walked towards the house and just lay down when the phone rang. Message from the director team. The script is here. He glanced at it quickly. Dig bamboo shoots, pick herbs, catch centipedes. Zhang Xiao, is this really a script? You go to the bamboo forest tomorrow, look for the bamboo with the X mark, and then dig under that bamboo. Then there are bamboo shoots underneath. Yes, I have asked someone to confirm in advance, you can just dig directly. Got it. Zhang Xiao suddenly felt hope. You can watch Chen Zan's live broadcast later, learn something, don't go tomorrow and don't know how to dig. Okay, I get it. When you finish digging the bamboo shoots, continue walking into the mountains, where we have prepared some surprises for you. What surprise? Medicinal materials. Medicinal materials. Yes, director. Chen Zan dug a 500-year-old wild ginseng today. Someone spent 23 million to buy it on the spot, which caused quite a stir on the internet. 23 million. Zhang Xiao was shocked at the time. What a special thing, it's even more exaggerated than making money. Director. We have also prepared some medicinal materials for you, including Ganoderma lucidum, Polygonum multiflorum and wild ginseng. I'll send you some information later. You can memorize it tonight. After you dig up these medicinal materials tomorrow, you will also give the audience a popular science. From now on, we will move on to the knowledgeable person. Oh, yes, remember to watch Chen Zhan's live broadcast. Good. After the chat, Zhang Xiao found Chen Zhan's live broadcast room for the first time, clicked on the replay, and studied silently. Time flies, and day breaks. At 6 o'clock, Chen Zhan woke up on time. The sky outside the window was not completely bright yet. He put on his clothes, stepped on his shoes, and opened the door. It was a little bit cool in the morning. Chen Zhan only wore a thin short-sleeved t-shirt. He took out his cell phone and took a look. At this moment, there are only a few 100,000 online in the live broadcast room, which is pitiful. And among these hundreds of thousands, more than half of them forgot to turn off their mobile phones while sleeping. The other half were on the night shift. Seeing Chen Zhan got up, it was just a few scattered bullet screens. Brother Chen is early, so sleepy, go home from get off work and go to sleep later. It's better to be in the countryside. Alas, looking at Brother Chen's little life, I want to quit my job and return to my hometown. Chen Zhan smiled at the drone and said, "Good morning everyone." After saying hello, he began to wash. After washing, make breakfast. There was not much food, and the snake soup last night was eaten cleanly. So Chen Zhan cooked a pot of porridge, put the lid on, and went out. He was not idle either, took off the dried centipede, removed the bamboo stick, and put it in the bag. This group of children's centipedes put a bag, and their own centipedes put a bag. Packed up, put it on the table casually. Suddenly he thought of the steak step he got in the lottery last night. He walked into the middle of the yard with his legs slightly apart, shoulder width apart. At this moment, he only felt that he had been standing on the stakes for decades, and he felt a sense of integration. With a light breath, Chen Zhan's body sank slightly, his thighs and calves were at 90 degrees, and his waist was as straight as a pine tree. At first glance, it seemed as if there was an invisible stool under him. Brother Chen is doing this. Zamabu. Hey, it looks pretty standard. Hey, this step is a bit difficult. I tried it and I couldn't stand still. Isn't it a bit difficult? It's so difficult to explode, I can't squat down at all. Many netizens have followed Chen Zhan's way of squatting, but they can't squat at all. His calf is straight, not leaning forward, his thigh and calf are 90 degrees, and his waist and thighs are 90 degrees. The whole person is like three wooden boards spliced together, the angle is straight, very standard. This posture is difficult to explode, and it is almost impossible for a beginner to do it. Your uncle, this is so outrageous. How on earth did it happen? I can't squat down at all. The barrage was amazed. Originally, only a small number of people tried it. Other netizens who saw the barrage said it was difficult and they didn't believe in evil, so they tried it. It turned out to be really difficult after I tried it. Chen Zhan stood wholeheartedly, exhaling and inhaling extremely long. Only early morning birds call insects. And under such a stand, time passed quickly every minute and every second. The sky also gradually brightened. I don't know when, a barrage suddenly floated across the live broadcast room. Worry, did he stand for half an hour? Chapter 71. At this time, it was 7 o'clock. After Chen Zhan finished cooking the porridge, it was 6:30. At that time, he started to stand and walk. It was indeed half an hour later. However, there are not many people at this point, and many of them work night shifts. They are not in good spirits and do not pay much attention. And under the reminder of this barrage, everyone later realized that half an hour had passed. I took a look, it's really been half an hour. Brother Chen, don't you have sore legs? I can't stand in this position for half a minute. Can you resist for half an hour? I suspect that there is an invisible stool under Chen Zhe Pigu. Awesome, for the first time I found out that Brother Chen still has a foundation for practice. Brother Chen didn't feel anything. His physical fitness now explodes, coupled with the experience of stubbing, half an hour is nothing to him. The Zama step in the morning is purely to be fresh and pass the time. It's 35 minutes, 40 minutes, a batch of hanging, it's been 50 minutes. If it weren't for Brother Chen's hair moving and eyes blinking, I really suspect that this is a static state. Blink, 7:30. Chen Zan has been standing for a full hour. During this hour, his body remained motionless and as stable as Mount Tai. Wu Tong looked dumbfounded. He stood for an hour in the early morning. Is it difficult to Zamabu? Zhang Ting asked curiously. It's difficult. The observer was a professor named Xu Chengzhou. He nodded and said, I have done a topic before, about our kung fu in Daxia. It was also the same time I visited many boxing gyms. I have some basic understanding of kung fu. I remember a master told me that if you want to learn martial arts, you must learn to walk first. This step refers to the horse step. Moreover, Chen Zan's horse step stance is similar to that of the masters. The posture is almost exactly the same, very standard. I have tried it before, but I can't stand at all, and I lose my balance when I squat down. Not to mention, like Chen Zan, one stop is an hour. Even the master I know who has practiced martial arts for more than 10 years can't do it. Brother Chen is so hungry. The peerless expert is by my side. Brother Chen, let's open the library to accept apprentices. I am the first to sign up and pay the tuition fee. At this point, the online live streaming room started to rise. Netizens opened the program and saw Chen Zan standing there. They thought it was quite interesting. After watching the barrage for a while, they realized that he actually stood for an hour. Just keep this posture and haven't moved for an hour. Although many people don't understand horse stance, they can feel it just by looking at this posture. This is a group of difficult horse stances. Sports school, I said, this kind of stance, I will die for 3 minutes. Great God, I can stand for 3 minutes. I am at most 1 minute. At this time, the aroma of white rice porridge wafted from the kitchen. Chen Zan let out a sigh of relief, put his horse back away, and stood up. He twisted his neck, moved a little, and said, it's okay to stand, and stand is also a way to exercise. Moreover, in our Daxia Kung Fu system, the stance is the most important foundation. As the old saying goes, pass the martial arts without passing the steps, pass the steps and beat the master. The first 3 years of martial arts training. These can be seen to the extent to which the stakes are important to the martial artist. He shook his arms, turned around and walked towards the kitchen, and continued, when can I stand up on this step, and then practice martial arts? It will have a multiplier effect with half the effort. In most types of boxing, there is a saying that punches 3 points and 7 feet, which means that the bottom plate must be steady, in order to further practice other footwork, in order to be more flexible. Like Chen Zan now, even if he is standing on a flat boat swept by huge waves, he can still take root under his feet, as stable as a rock. Say a set of things. Just want to know, Brother Chen, are you really good at martial arts? Just like this, I dare say that Brother Chen absolutely understands Kung Fu, and he is also a master. Brother Chen, don't eat, show your hand. Chen Zan went into the house and opened the lid. The porridge was ready. I served a bowl, and there was no pickles, so I ate it with a clear soup. After eating a bowl and eating another bowl, a pot of porridge will be eaten in half an hour. After eating and drinking, Chen Zan patted his stomach and leaned on a chair in the yard to rest. He picked up the phone and glanced at it. Good guy, a group of netizens let him show off. Lu, your sister, how do I know Kung Fu? The things he just said are all the knowledge brought by the stakes. I really told him to show his hand. The power may be great, but it is definitely an incomprehensible Wongbakwan. It's a joke when you hit it out. In the eyes of outsiders, and even in the eyes of some Kung Fu masters, his steps are absolutely king level. Certainly think he is a master of Kung Fu. However, Chen Zan can only sprint. He automatically ignored these barrages. At this time, a phone call came in. Hey, coming soon. Okay, then I'll wait for you here. The call was made by Chen Rong from the Magic City Medical College. After contacting Chen Zan yesterday, he immediately arranged for someone to go to Tianai City on the same day. Stayed in Tianai City for 1 night, and rushed over early this morning. People are already on the road at this time, and they will be there in another 20 minutes. Chen Zan also has some expectations. This wild ginseng was sold for more than 20 million, and in the next month he could really take this challenge as a vacation. Uncle Chen. Suddenly a childish voice sounded outside. and after looking for it, it was Wang Bin and several little boys who were standing outside the door and waving at him. Chen Zan walked over. You got up so early. Don't you need to go to school today? Wang Bin said. Today is Sunday. Yeah, Chen Zan slapped his forehead. It has been a long time since he went to work and has no idea about the weekend. Wang Bin said. Uncle Chen, you said yesterday that those centipedes can be sold for money, right? Right. Who are you selling to? Drugstore. Chen Zan saw it. They wanted to sell centipedes to make money, and smiled and said, I'll go to the street in a while, do you want to go with me? Several children nodded quickly, and then said again, but grandma might not let us go to the county seat. This is a problem. Chen Zan thought for a while and said, it's okay, you go back first, and I will look for you when I leave later, and I will talk to your grandparents. Thank you Uncle Chen. What's your kindness with Uncle? Chen Zan's words made the sadness on the faces of these children disappear. Their children want to go out and play, and they are all right to run all over the mountains. But if they want to let them go to the county seat, the elderly in the family absolutely disagree. Mainly worry about the children, worry about them getting into trouble, and worry about them being abducted. But if Chen Zan came forward, it would definitely be better. 20 minutes later, a middle-aged man in his 40s, accompanied by a few young men and women, and a few men in his 30s, came to the door. Boom boom boom. The middle-aged man knocked on the door. Mr. Chen. Chen Zan went to open the door. Hello. Hello, Mr. Chen, I am Chen Rong. Hello, Dean Chen, I'm lucky enough to meet you. When they were introduced into the yard, several young people couldn't help but look at Chen Zan curiously. They are students of the Magic City Medical College, and they came here this time mainly to increase their knowledge. Brother Chen himself is more handsome than on TV. Really handsome, and so tall. Brother Chen's clothes seem to be torn. It is estimated that it was scratched by a tree branch in the mountain yesterday. Several little girls whispered and stared at Chen Zan secretly. Chen Rong and Chen Zan talked briefly for a while. Chen Zan said, Dean Chen, you wait for me here, I will get wild ginseng. He puts wild ginseng in the cupboard of the house casually, and he is not afraid of being stolen. He didn't think that a thief could steal something from his hand. Coming out of the room, he put the wild ginseng on the table. Mr. Chen, let us check it. Chen Rong said with a serious expression. The inspection should be, after all, more than 20 million, not 2,000. Chen Rong said to the men in their 30s, please check. Several men carried a box with special testing equipment. They carefully intercepted a small section of wild ginseng and put it into the instrument for testing. This is mainly used to detect the year of wild ginseng. About 10 minutes later, the test was over, and the man said, the year is about 530. Okay, Chen Rong let go of his mind, put the wild ginseng carefully. Then he said to Chen Zan, Mr. Chen, you provide me with your bank card number, and I will now transfer the finance from the hospital to you. Good. Chen Zan took out his bank card, and Chen Rong got busy. Those men are cautiously pretending to be wild ginseng. 10 minutes later. Phone vibration. I caught it and saw that the money arrived. 23 million. A long string of zeros. Mr. Chen, has it arrived? Arrive. Okay, then we will stay soon. We have to go back and take care of the wild ginseng. Chen Rong stretched out his hand and shook hands with him. Mr. Chen, I will invite you to dinner when I have time to come to the city. I will give it to you. They have been sent outside the door and watched them leave. You can't drive on this section of the road, they all walk on foot. 23 million. Brother Chen was financially free in just one day. I shed tears of envy. The newcomer is still envious of Brother Chen making money. The old fan has already bought a ticket to go to Chengbai Mountain to dig wild ginseng. Understood, I'm going to buy a hoe. Others suffer from participating in the show, only Brother Chen, participating in the show makes money. Watching Chen Zan's wild ginseng sold, and 23 million cash arrived, it was a huge blow to everyone. Especially challengers who gave up on their own initiative half a month ago. This group of challengers chose farmers. But the result is that they all give up automatically within a week to half a month. The same people, why is the gap so big? They don't understand, they really figured it out, but don't understand, where is the problem? The other 99 challengers suffered no better than these eliminated challengers. There are 2 levels of challengers into the profession, one is Chen Zan and the other is challengers other than Chen Zan. Chen Zan has become a watershed for the program group, reaching a height that other challengers cannot surpass. Chen Zan did not delay when the money arrived. Go to the county seat. He took the bag with the centipede and found Wang Bin's house. Uncle, is Wang Bin at home? Little Chen. Grandpa Wang Bin said. He is doing homework in the room, what are you looking for? Chen Zan said. I will take him to the county seat. No, you can go alone, don't take him. That won't work, he said he wants to buy a homework book, I have to let him pick it himself. Want to buy a homework book? How much is it? No, he has money. Chen Zan held the centipede in his hand. Yesterday we went to the mountain and caught a lot of centipedes. We will sell them at the drugstore later, and we will use this money to buy them. After nagging for a long time, I finally saw Wang Bin. The old man said, Xiao Bin, follow your uncle to be obedient, don't run around. Wang Bin nodded repeatedly, expressing his understanding. They went to the homes of several other children, and they were all picked up smoothly. Knowing that they were going to go to the street, the little boys all put on their favorite clothes. Uncle Chen, how are we going? They rarely go out to the streets with their grandparents, and occasionally, they all make appointments with a van in a nearby village one day in advance and wait at a fixed time and place. Basically, there is no temporary decision to go to the county like today. For them, a trip to the county town is extremely luxurious. Chen Zan said, we make bullock carts. What is a bullock cart? It's a bullock cart. Chen Zan smiled and said, you are waiting for me here. After speaking, he turned and returned home. In the backyard covered with weeds, there was a dilapidated cart. Although worn, the 2 wheels are still good, and the car plate is also good. He dragged the pallet up, took the twine, and dragged it out all the way. You are here to help me watch, I'll go and bring the cow over. Oh. When Chen Zan left, the child said, Uncle Chen is going to use a cow to pull it. Seems like it, but is the cow so obedient? Uncle Chen said that he can pull it, and he can definitely pull it. Wang Bin ended the topic. Wang Dao said in amazement, bull cart. This doesn't work. Ma Jingyao smiled and said, I really rode in a bullock cart when I was a kid. It must be a good way to go. The problem is that there are too many people, and a cow may not be able to move. It's a problem if you can't pull it, but the bigger question is whether this bull is so obedient. Zhang Jianmen frowned. He actually didn't want Chen Zan to pull the cart with a bull. If Chen Zan is alone, it doesn't matter what he does. But the problem is that there are still 5 children. In case these children fall and are injured, Chen Zan is also responsible. Chen Zan didn't think so much, or to be more precise, he didn't worry about it. This is a manifestation of self-confidence in one's own abilities. He came to the ridge, took out the genetic drink that had been prepared, and threw the Kaiji pill in it. The water buffalo recognized the 2-legged beast, and when he saw him coming, he immediately walked over and arched Chen Zan with his huge head, very affectionate. Brother Niu, come, drink water. Chen Zan poured water in his palm and fed it to him. The buffalo drank very quickly, and a bottle of water drank in less than 2 minutes. Even the Kaiji pill melted and it was drunk cleanly. After drinking, Chen Zan patted his head and felt it carefully. He can clearly feel that buffalo is very different from yesterday. Especially with a pair of eyes, he even saw the color of a human surname. Brother Niu, Moo, Brother Niu, what are you doing? I'm asking you to do me a favor. Chen Zan smiled and said, come with me. After speaking, he turned and left. Then, under everyone's shocked and inexplicable gaze, Buffalo followed him. A horseman, can this buffalo really understand? I'll go, God, how did you do it, Brother Chen? It's a coincidence. The legendary way to speak. From a distance, Wang Bin and the others saw Chen Zan coming back from the ridge, followed by a buffalo. Chen Zan came over, grabbed the twine, tied it to the armrests on both sides of the cart, and then wrapped it around the neck of the buffalo. In order to prevent being injured by the rope, Chen Zan also found some old clothes from home and put them underneath. Finish. Chen Zan looked at this simple ox cart with satisfaction and patted the cart and said, come on. The children were a little excited, but it was the first time they had taken a bullock cart. These children are only 7 or 8 years old, weighing an average of about 40 catties, and the total weight of 5 is less than 200 catties. Moreover, the water buffalo drank the genetic beverage. The physical fitness is far from the average water buffalo can compare. Chen Zan knows how terrible genetic drinks can improve physical fitness. 5 kids in a mere trivial amount are nothing at all. Even with him, the buffalo's pulling is easy. But Chen Zan did not go up. He stood side by side with Brother Niu, and walked outside the village with the symbolic surname holding the cow. He led Brother Niu and ate grass along the way. After eating all the way, half an hour later, I came to the highway. The buffalo is really docile. I was worried that the buffalo would not be obedient. It's still a bit dangerous. There are so many cars on the road. If you get into a collision, it's an accident. My dream is that one day, I can open the door to look at the sea, go out to ride a horse. Actually riding a bull can also. I just want to know, when the cattle arrive at the county seat, will it get dark? From here to the county seat, about 40 kilometers. Chen Zan took out another bottle of gin drink and gave it to Brother Niu. After Brother Niu finished drinking, Chen Zan patted his head and said, "Brother Niu, we have to hurry. I will run in front, and you will not fall behind." "Moo," Brother Niu said OJBK. Every time I watch Brother Chen and Niu talk seriously, I just want to laugh. The point is, Brother Niu really responded to him, covering his face. Chen Zan turned his head and said, "Sit firmly, don't fall." Several children nodded in response, with a well-behaved face. After instructing, Chen Zan opened his legs and ran towards the county seat. When he ran, Brother Niu also started to run. The pallet truck hung at the back also went along with it. The weight of 5 children didn't make Brother Niu feel strenuous. Chen Zan didn't start fast, and while running, he looked back to observe Niu's state. When it was determined that its physical strength was more than enough at this speed, it slowly increased its speed. At the same time, Chen Zan also specially opened the running software in his mobile phone. Therefore, when they run a kilometer, there will be voice prompts. Day, a group of convinced people, is this bull really obedient? There is a saying, I don't want to raise a dog now, I want to raise a cow. If my Erha is half as smart as Brother Niu, I would be willing to eat for 1 year. How can a buffalo run so fast? In my impression, the buffalo should be very slow. Chen Zan was also worried that netizens felt that he was abusing Brother Niu, and proactively explained, in fact, the speed and strength of the cow is very strong, even if it is compared with the horse, it is not bad at all. The cow has 4 toes on its feet, and the side toes are more than deer or more degraded and are more suitable for running, especially for long-distance runs. Moreover, the explosive power of short distances is greater than that of horses. So you don't have to worry that Brother Niu will lose strength. This kind of situation will almost never happen to him. As soon as the voice fell, the phone in his pocket sounded the time signal. You have ran 1 kilometer in 2 minutes and 49 seconds. You can run a kilometer in less than 3 minutes. Chen Zhe Niubi. Niuban, didn't he run like this every night before? Brother Niu was the one who made the batch, okay. Anyway, it's better than me. For the rest of the time, Chen Zan was not talking but jogging intently. Every once in a while, I would look back at Wang Bin and several people to make sure they were sitting honestly on the cart. And the sound of telling the time will sound every once in a while. You have ran 2 kilometers in 5 minutes and 38 seconds, with an average pace of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. You have ran 3 kilometers in 8 minutes and 27 seconds, with an average pace of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. You have run away. You have run 9 kilometers in 25 minutes and 21 seconds, with an average pace of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Worry, is there something wrong with this running software? Your mother, Brother Chen, are you really a human? 9 kilometers, the time for each kilometer is the same, no difference. I ran at night for 7 years, and I kept the pace at about 2 seconds at most. Brother Chen is so precise, I really haven't seen it before. Is there a problem with your focus? Isn't the point not the pace of Brother Chen? It took 2 minutes and 49 seconds to run 9 kilometers. It's a marathon world record if you can run it. What is the world record? The world record for the marathon is 2 hours and 03 minutes, and the pace per kilometer is 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Chen is already faster than the world record in terms of pace, as long as he can run 42 kilometers. It's unlikely that the record will be broken, but even if it can't be broken, Brother Chen is very hungry. This physical fitness is simply exploding. Why are you so good? Remove the excellent word. In the blink of an eye, an hour passed, and Chen Zan had already run 20 kilometers. It is still a stable pace, not even 1 second of error. The online of the live broadcast room is also getting higher and higher. Under the spontaneous propaganda of netizens in various forums are curious to come to watch. Soon, an hour and a half passed, and Chen Zan has run 30 kilometers at this moment. 3 cups of wine. I rewarded 10 Buddhas who jumped over the wall and left a message. Chen Jie, come on. The marathon record was broken. Tiger Mountain Tour. I rewarded 10 Buddhas jumping over the wall, and left a message. Who can think of it, just a day ago, I was still immersed in the young lady in the dance zone. Run. I rewarded 10 Buddhas jumping over the wall, and left a message. Come on, there are 10 kilometers, come on, Chen Jie, you must hold on. More and more netizens poured in. At this time, it was only at 9:30 in the morning, and there were already 10 million online in the live broadcast room. You know, it's not prime time, but it's already broken 10 million online. Not only that, but there are also many We Media Big Vs who live broadcast Chen Zan and Niu Ji's journey to the county on their Weibo and other platform accounts. The title is also quite attractive. Round. Live testimony, how a cow broke the marathon world record. Close double angle bracket. Your sister, the self-media is really getting offline now. Can your family run a marathon? I don't have any common sense. I can't tell you how slow the cow is running on short legs. He also stepped on a horse. Oh my god, how can this cow run so fast? Kneel for Brother Niu. I suspect that Brother Niu made me run faster than me on both legs. Is this challenger a livestock? Coming. Chen Zan has already seen the buildings in the county seat. He smiled, and the phone rang again. You have ran 40 kilometers in 1 hour and 34 minutes, with an average pace of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. He didn't feel anything, but there were more than 10 million people in the live broadcast room, but they were excited by the sound. It's 40 kilometers, and there is the last kilometer. Persistence is victory. Chen Jie perseveres. No matter how you look at it, Brother Chen doesn't seem to be unable to stick to it. This world record has been steadily broken. Wang Dao and the group are also very excited. They didn't expect that Chen Zan bought a centipede in Shangxian County and broke the world record for the marathon by the way. It was brutal. What's more terrifying is that besides Chen Zan, there is also a cow. You have run 41 kilometers in 1 hour, 36 minutes and 49 seconds, with an average pace of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. You have ran 42 kilometers in 1 hour, 39 minutes and 38 seconds, with an average pace of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. When Chen Zan ran 42 kilometers to the end, the entire live broadcast room was completely exploded. Broken, really broken. Brother Chen, you are such a monster, you are not a human being. The running timing software is definitely not that accurate, but it is definitely not much different. Even if you add another 10 minutes to Brother Chen, it will still break the record. It's really scary. I just set the world record to 22 minutes. Brother Niu is even more terrifying. He is still dragging a car and 5 children. Kneel to Niu. Run. I rewarded 10 Buddhas jumping off the wall, and left a message. I'm so excited I don't know what to say. 3 cups of wine. I rewarded 10 Buddhas who jumped over the wall, and left a message. In front of Brother Niu, I feel like I am a waste. All of a sudden, the rewards from all walks of life were like falling leaves in the forest. On Weibo, 1 person, 1 cow breaks the marathon world record. This topic reached the top in an instant with an incredible and terrifying speed. Countless Big Vs came to join in the fun, forward comments, and share this wave of enthusiasm. And at the foreign forum facing each other across the sea, a video appeared quietly at this moment. The title of the video is, The Far and Mysterious East, a Cow Breaks the World Record. After a few minutes, Chen Zan slowed down. They have entered the county seat, and they will easily hit people if they run so fast. Chen Zan took Brother Niu in one hand and walked by the side of the road. Cows can be seen occasionally in the county town, but they are becoming rarer now. So when Chen Zan showed up in the county town with a cow and 5 little boys, it attracted a lot of people's attention. Arrive. Chen Zan stopped and stood outside a clinic. Pharmacies also accept centipedes, but in general pharmacies, unless there is someone who happens to meet the principal, the clerk generally does not accept it, which is too troublesome. The clinic is different. Basically, the doctors in the clinic are always there. After all, the clinic is opened by the doctor himself, and he has to take care of the business. Wang Bin jumped out of the cart. Chen Zan patted the bull's head and said, "Brother Niu, wait here, don't run around, don't you know?" Moo. Brother Niu nodded calmly, expressing his understanding. Let's go. Chen Zan led a few children towards the clinic. Wang Bin and the others are a little nervous. This is the first time they sell centipedes. I don't know if anyone really wants to pay for this thing. But soon they knew. The doctor counted the quantity and ordered 700 yuan to Chen Zan. Their eyes widened and their heartbeats were speeding up. Let's go. After taking the money, Chen Zan said with a smile. After coming out, Chen Zan ordered 400 to them, 80 yuan per person, take it. Thank you Uncle Chen. Several people were so excited that they held the money tightly. This is the first time they have made money on their own, and it is still a huge sum of 80 yuan. Chen Zan smiled and said, "Thank you, you caught the centipede yourself. Go, Uncle will take you to a big meal." Need not. Listen to Uncle, walk. Chen Zan said beyond doubt. Looking back at Brother Niu, it's not easy to carry in this county. After thinking for a while, Chen Zan said, "Brother Niu, go around by yourself, we will still be here for a while." Moo. Before leaving, Chen Zan fed him another bottle of gin drink. Then he took a few children and walked towards the center of the county. He checked with his cell phone that there is a KFC in the county seat. Then don't think about it, just go eat KFC directly. Basically, children of this age like to eat hamburgers, instant noodles, ham and spicy noodles. Brother Chen's heart is really big enough, so he released Brother Niu like this. This is a cow, not a dog. Wait, after eating in a while, Brother Niu will definitely be stolen. The operation of Chen Zan's hand is unintelligible and incomprehensible to everyone. This is a cow, and it costs more than 10,000 yuan to buy it. After half an hour, Chen Zan took them to KFC. He clearly saw excitement and surprise from the faces of several children. At this noon, Chen Zan asked them to eat a full meal, and everyone who ate was almost unable to walk. Let's go home. Aha, Uncle Chen, thank you for inviting us to eat hamburgers. Thank you Uncle. Several children thanked them. Chen Zan rubbed their heads and said with a smile, "If you want to thank me, you can study hard, and then you can buy me a meal when you work and earn money in the future." Must. Wang Bin nodded seriously and vigorously. Out of the mall, a group of people walked in the direction of the clinic. Halfway through, Chen Zan heard the sound of a dog barking. He looked over. On the side of the road ahead, there was a 40-year-old, dark-skinned man sitting straddled on a motorcycle and smoking. There is an iron cage on the back seat of the motorcycle with a yellow-haired dog in it. The barking sound came from the iron cage. When Chen Zan looked at it, the big yellow dog was also looking at Chen Zan. That look is very pitiful. "Master, is this dog for sale?" Chen Zan went over and asked casually. The man said, "Sell, why don't I bring it? You want to buy it? Let me see." Chen Zan smiled and touched the dog's head through the iron cage. With this touch, the emotions of the big yellow dog were all clear to his heart. This is a stray dog, caught by this man. If there are no accidents, this dog will only end up with 2. One was sold to a restaurant, and the other was bought and killed by an individual. After all, this is just a local dog, but also a big dog. How much? Chen Zan asked the price directly. The man said, 200. Okay. Chen Zan readily took out 2 red banknotes and handed them over. The boss was also happy and gave the money to the dog after he received the money. The iron cage was opened on the ground, but the big yellow dog was still lying on his stomach, shivering and not daring to move. Chen Zan knelt down, picked up the dog, and gently touched the dog's head to comfort him. Chen Zan continued to convey kindness. With the ability of the trainer, the big yellow dog was no longer so scared, but his head kept plowing into Chen Zhan's arms. This dog feels like stealing. Without the word feeling, this dog is either a stray dog or a steal. It makes no difference anyway. Fortunately, Brother Chen has money to sell wild ginseng, otherwise he will have to drink Xiefeng again today. Drink northwestern wind. Isn't there a dog? Don't sprinkle a handful of coriander. Hey, it's poisonous. Wang Bin and the others looked at Chen Zhan buying a dog, and they were all a little strange. They don't have much interest in dogs. Many families in the village have dogs, which is nothing new to them. And this dog is also a native dog, just like the one in the village. They continued walking. When passing by a cake shop, Wang Bin suddenly stopped and gently pulled Chen Zhan's sleeve and said, "Uncle Chen, can you wait for me for a while? I want to buy something." "Oh, well, what are you going to buy?" "Cake." Wang Bin looked at the cake shop next to him. "Okay, then I'll be waiting for you here, you go." Aha! Wang Bin ran over quickly, but the little boys stayed where they were and did not follow. Chen Zhan curiously asked, "Why don't you go?" The little boy shook his head. "The cake is expensive." Chen Zhan asked, "Wang Bin likes to eat cake. Daddy Wang Bin will come back tomorrow. This cake was bought for his father." Wang Bin said that he would celebrate his father's birthday in advance, otherwise it will be time to eat mooncakes the next time he comes back. Oh, it turned out to be so. This little baby is really interested. My nose is a little sour because of Mao. Oh, you don't care about this when you are old. I have children with me in the future, otherwise the left behind children will be too pitiful. The children of the poor are in their homes early. These children are really sensible, and it hurts to be sensible. The barrage atmosphere in the live broadcast room is a little heavy. At this time, Wang Bin came back. He was holding a small cake box in his hand, and his slightly dark face was full of smiles. At this moment, he was obviously the happiest. "Uncle Chen, I bought it. Go." When they returned to the clinic, Brother Niu was already waiting here. "Hey, Brother Niu is still there. Brother Chen is really lucky. That is, I didn't meet me, otherwise I would be the first to steal the cow." "Be yourself. It was very miserable to get caught stealing. Someone stole a dog in our village last month, and they are still in the ICU. Brother Niu looked at the big yellow dog in Chen Zhan's arms and was very curious. Chen Zhan put the big yellow dog, who was obviously lacking in energy, on the cart and said, "Let's go home." On the way back, Chen Zhan did not run like he did when he came. Just after eating, you have to digest. He doesn't care, but these kids can't. And this is a cart. Just run down at the speed of Brother Niu, and in minutes, these children can spit out all the burgers they just ate. "Wang Bin, is your father really going to take you to the zoo to see monkeys this time?" "I want to go too, but my mother said that she would take me there after the new year." "Wang Bin, remember to watch more animals when the time comes, and come back and tell us what tigers and lions look like." Chen Zhan listened and asked, "Wang Bin, is your dad taking you to the zoo?" "Yeah." Wang Bin had expectations in his eyes. "Dad called yesterday, explaining that he would be back tomorrow, and he said he would take me to the zoo to see monkeys and tigers. Uncle Chen, when I come back from the zoo, I will tell you what a tiger grows looks like." Chen Zhan rubbed his head and smiled. "Okay, then I will wait for you to tell me." Children's happiness. It's so simple. Why don't I just feel stuck in my heart? Brother Chen, give me an account. I'll transfer some money to you. Let's take a few children to the zoo to have a look. I'll turn a little bit too. There was a wave of donations in the live broadcast room. Chen Zhan walked for more than half an hour, feeling that his digestion was almost done, so he patted Brother Niu on the head. "Brother Niu, let's go." "Moo," Brother Niu called out. Chen Zhan opened the running software, opened his legs, accelerated his pace and started to run. Niu followed closely behind. "Here's coming, that man, he's coming. Move the small bench, I want to witness Brother Chen break the record again. Brother Chen, run faster." The live broadcast room swept away from the previous haze atmosphere, and was immediately full of vitality. From the perspective of Brother Chen's pace, it should not be much different from the morning pace. I just went and took a look. The video of Brother Chen running in the morning has been uploaded crazy on the internet. The moment Brother Chen ran up, it was in a certain apartment building in the Magic City. A man with glasses, his fingers flexibly, snapped on the keyboard. He is a self-media person who has accounts on multiple forums, and several accounts add up to 1 million fans. Since Chen Zhan started the second challenge, he has been paying attention all the time. In the past 2 days, Chen Zhan has rushed to various hot search topics, and he also has his credit. Basically, if there is any topical event in the live broadcast room, he will edit the clip as soon as possible and post it on Weibo. I woke up early this morning and saw Chen Zhan standing there for an entire hour. When he edited this section, he found that he had already rushed to the hot search. But he keenly discovered that Chen Zhan's popularity is currently limited to China, while abroad, there is very little news about Chen Zhan. So he registered an account on the overseas forum website for the first time. And just when he was about to send out the video of the station, he found that Chen Zhan was on the hot search again. And this time, it was because of breaking the marathon world record. He immediately put down the stubborn video, and immediately intercepted the video of Chen Zhan breaking the marathon world record, without editing it, and directly posted it on the internet. He knows well that if a video wants to attract people, whether it is domestic or foreign, an exaggerated title is indispensable. The Far and Mysterious East, a cow broke the world record. Such a title attracted more than 1,000 people in a short period of time. After an hour, the amount of playback exceeded 10,000. 2 hours later, more than 100,000 views were played. And now, the number of views has exceeded 500,000, and this video has a faintly explosive trend. Not only that, his newly registered account also has more than 300,000 fans. 300,000 followers in 3 hours is still an overseas forum. This experience is the first time for him. Therefore, when Chen Zhan started running again, he immediately began to broadcast the text and pictures in real time. The first kilometer, 2 minutes and 51 seconds, is slightly slower than the morning. Bloggers hurry up and update. 3 minutes, I want all the information about this cow. This Daxia man is so handsome, I eat his face too much. He has very strong muscles under his clothes. I think I might be in love. After watching the blogger's first video, this is a terrible man. Even though he uses running timing software and cannot be recognized by the IAAF, there is no doubt about his strength. Perhaps the world marathon champion should watch this video. I believe he will appreciate this master from Daxia. In a gymnasium in Beluga, Arizona, a black man has just finished training and is sitting under the court to rest. Hey, John, there is a video that might be of interest to you. What video? A man from Daxia, he broke your marathon record. Oh, John was surprised. Really? Of course, take a look. In addition, the IAAF seems to be very interested in this matter. Although he uses ordinary running software, he does have the ability to break the world record. No one can do this. Question. John took the phone and clicked on the video. The video was very long. He played it at double speed and took half an hour to finish it. Awesome, John exclaimed. I can't imagine that someone can run so fast. In the live broadcast room, online steadily rising. After a hot search in the morning, when Chen Zhan runs again, the big V of the entire network are actively promoting this matter. The intensity of publicity and the rapid spread of the whole network give people the illusion that this is a top athlete who wants to participate in a certain international event. Slower than in the morning, the average pace is about 2 or 3 seconds slower. Even if it's 2 or 3 seconds slow, it can break the record. It's really not a human being. I just want to know how much error is there between running software and real marathon timing. Running World Official, I rewarded 100 Buddhas jumping over the wall, and left a message. Chen Jie uses the running software developed by our company, and the accuracy of our company's running software can reach the competition level. Finally, come on, Brother Chen. The official was blown up. It is recommended to ask Brother Chen to endorse. I can't ask for endorsements. The first endorsement is worth 10 million. Now that Brother Chen is even more popular, can't the endorsement fee be doubled? Finally found this man. Is this a live broadcast? God knows how difficult it is for me to find you. Suddenly, a bunch of foreign language barrage popped up in the live broadcast room. It turned out to be a group of foreigners who found this show over the wall. Worry, Brother Chen actually went abroad. As expected of you. Let's conceal it. I have a showdown. In fact, I am Brother Chen's trumpet. Girls add me. I also want to be liked by foreign girls crying. Brother Chen's physical fitness should be comparable to that of a national athlete, right? Absolutely better. I really envy. If I have this physical fitness, my daughter-in-law will not be able to get out of bed for at least 3 days. Quote question mark question mark. Your mother, another show-off dog. Gao and I rewarded a Buddha jumping over the wall, and left a message. Chen's physical fitness should be stronger than me. Anyway, I have never seen anyone who can run 2 full horses in 1 day. The endurance is simply abnormal, not human. Yu Fei, I rewarded a Buddha who jumped over the wall and left a message. Chen Jie is a little old. If he had gone to study sports a few years earlier, he would have won several gold medals by now. I lost. The 2 upstairs are real and fake. It seems to be true. Hang, the national team suddenly appeared. These 2 are athletes of the national track and field team and have won the top 3 results in international competitions. And shortly after the 2 appeared, an English letter ID typed a line of Chinese characters. John Philly Chen, you are a very powerful athlete. You definitely have the ability to break the marathon record. Come on. As soon as this barrage came out, the entire live broadcast room went crazy. It's John the Great, world record holder. Oh my god, it's no good, I'm a little dizzy, who can help me? Brother Chen is too big, he is also a national athlete and a world record holder. It's over. It has already pulled a lot of other challengers. This wave is directly divided into 2 levels. Everyone suddenly felt sorry for the other challengers. You know, the status of athletes is very high. The Olympics is the battlefield in the era of peace. And these athletes who represent the country are equivalent to soldiers who played in ancient times. The gold medal they won is an honor for the country. Once there was a wealthy businessman on Hong Kong Island who married a world champion. At that time, when various media reported on the matter, they used the marriage, not the high climb. From this we can see how high the status of an athlete who has won the glory of the world championship is. And now, the record holder of the Marathon World Championship, with a very affirmative tone, gave Chen Zan the recognition. This is enough to see that Chen Zan's physical fitness and his athletic ability are indeed comparable to professional athletes. At this time, Beijing, the track and field training venue. A middle-aged man was sitting down the court looking at the phone with a serious face. A few seconds later, the middle-aged humane said, Xiao Yan, contact this Chen Zan and ask him if he would like to come to the track team. Assistant Xiao Yan said in amazement, Coach, he is not young. In the face of talent, what is age? The middle-aged man interrupted him and said, contact immediately. As long as he nods, I will give him the green light all the way through the relationship. Remember, be fast, or you will be caught by another provincial track team. If you get ahead, you will lose a lot. After running for about an hour, Chen Zan's cell phone rang suddenly. He slowed down, took out his cell phone and glanced at it, a strange number from another province. He pressed the answer button, and before he spoke, he heard a somewhat anxious voice on the other side. Hello, Mr. Chen, I am Dong Dajiang, the person in charge of Extreme Club. Are you interested in being an athlete? Extreme Club, what is this for? It was the first time he had heard of such a club. So he asked, what do you do? Dong Dajiang said, we are a talent training center that trains athletes for the country. He was explaining that the live broadcast room was a pity. Ah, this is so special that it could have broken records. Who made this call? Calling here at this time, is it poisonous? What is the Extreme Club? Can you fight back later? Gone. If Brother Chen runs like this, he will definitely break the morning record. I found it. It's a commercial sports company that specializes in signing up some talented people to play games and make money. Paralysis. I thought it was the track team. Brother Chen, don't pay attention to him. Go to a few clubs, go to the track and field team if you want to go, and win glory for the country. The crowd was indignant, and there was a chance to break the record. As a result, at a critical moment, such a thing came out, and I was so disappointed. Not only them, but the coaches of many provincial track and field teams in China at the moment are also on the verge of running away with a cloud on their faces. The athletes on the side didn't dare to show up, for fear that they would offend the coach. The coach of the Dongshan provincial track and field team scolded, "What's the matter? I don't know how to call after he finishes running. I want to reincarnate in a hurry. I'm in a hurry." The athletes shuddered one after another. It's been a long time since the coach was so irritable. Don't blame the coach for being irritable, it's just that this thing is so annoying. In the morning, Chen Zan broke the record, and they failed to witness it personally, although there was a recorded video. But after all, it's easier to watch such things live. I finally got a chance to see it, but was interrupted by a phone call. The athletes absolutely believe that if this Dong Dajiang is in front of his coach, he will definitely be kicked. Coaches in other provinces are equally angry. Chen Zan, after the other party said his identity, directly refused, not interested. Hang up the phone and continue running. Dong Dajiang was a little dazed. He just told him all the benefits after signing, but he was rejected. Rejected so simply. This is something he didn't expect. In a daze, the phone vibrated, and he was overjoyed, thinking that Chen Zan had changed his mind and called back. Looking down, Director Li of the Sports Bureau. He hurriedly connected. "Hey, Director Li." Without uttering a complete sentence, I heard a violent scolding from the other side. "Dong Dajiang, what are you doing on horseback? Who asked you to call? Do you know that Chen Zan is promising to break the record? Do you know how many people are following Chen Zan running? Even the marathon world record holder is paying attention, and even the referees of the IAAF are paying attention. Are you calling him when you step on the horse? Want to sign him? What do you mean? Are you going to dig the corner of the country? What am I? No, isn't it?" Director Li was furious. "Your training ground leases expire and you will return them to me." He hung up immediately after speaking. Dong Dajiang's face turned pale and his brain was a little down. He couldn't think of it, he just made a phone call and actually pitted himself. Director Li did not deliberately target him, but what he did today has caused a very bad influence. In just that moment, he received more than a dozen calls, all from the provincial track and field teams. Moreover, the surnames of sportsmen are straight, and they don't make a roundabout, just say it directly. There were a few grumpy guys and asked him directly, "Does Dong Dajiang want to take away the world champion seedlings? When can such a club openly rob the track and field team?" Originally, Dong Dajiang's business and the club he managed belonged to the scope of scoring. As long as he keeps a low profile and doesn't show up, no one will care about him. But he just jumped out and asked for hardship. It's all right now. The several venues he rented and the approvals he got from the sports bureau are now gone. Director Li's direct remarks are tantamount to telling him that there is no room for maneuver in this matter. Chen Zan continued to run, and he didn't care about the delay. After half an hour, they arrived at the place. Chen Zan slowed down and took Niuzhe to turn into this rugged wild road. Back to the village, it was only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Chen Zan sent them back home one by one, and then went back by himself. "Brother Niu, go by yourself." Chen Zan unloaded the cart, patted the cow on the back, and turned back to the house. "Moo," Brother Niu called out and walked leisurely towards the field. As soon as Chen Zan took the big yellow dog into the yard, his cell phone kept ringing. It is still an unfamiliar number from another province. It's just that this time it was a call from the Jiangnan provincial track and field team. Athlete. Chen Zan was at a loss for a few seconds, and immediately after listening to what the other person said, he realized it later. It turned out to have taken a fancy to his athletic talent. He shook his head and declined. Although with his physical fitness, he can definitely break the record. But the problem is that he is participating in the show. And he is so old. As a professional athlete, sports career is quite short. There are also intense training content every day. Simply put together into one word is lazy. One call hung up, and another call came in. When he hung up the 5th call, he immediately looked at the drone. "You don't need to call me anymore. I actually have better stamina, but let me be an athlete. Thank you for your admiration." The provincial track and field coaches who followed the program group sighed when they heard the words. Such a good seedling is a little older, but his physical fitness is too abnormal. With this kind of physical fitness, as long as it is slightly trained and guided, it will definitely be able to shine in the international arena. Unfortunately, Chen Zan is not interested. Even so, They didn't force it, they just felt regretful in their hearts. What is Versailles? This is called Versailles. Brother Chen is a real high-level Versailles. He said that his talent is average, and his actual actions prove that his talent is very top-notch. When will the track and field team take the initiative to find me? This is a matter of Guangzhong Yaozu. Chen Zan walked into the kitchen, took an empty bowl, poured a bottle of genetic beverage, and placed it on the ground and beckoned to the big yellow dog, "Come here." Wang. The big yellow dog responded and ran over with his tail wagging. It was not afraid of Chen Zan at all, but was very close. Being around Chen Zan gave him an unprecedented sense of security. The big yellow dog was drinking water, and his weak body was recovering at a terrifying speed, but it was not visible from the outside. After drinking a bowl of water, the big yellow dog still licked his tongue with some meaning. Chen Zan slapped the dog's head and said, "I'll give you a name." "Wow, what can I call you? Let me think about it." After thinking for a few seconds, Chen Zan's eyes lit up. "Yes. Just call you Rhubarb. How do you like this name?" Wow, Rhubarb jumped and jumped, as if he liked the name very much. "Everyone, Brother Chen, can you be a little more serious? Is the name too random? A mouthful of old blood comes out. Brother Chen, you are really enough." Rhubarb, really, you go to the street and howl, believe it or not that 9 out of 10 dogs will look at you. Rhubarb kept circling around Chen Zan, it could understand some simple words Chen Zan said. But compared with Brother Niu, it's still a lot worse. So Chen Zan silently draws a lottery to see if he can get another Kaiji pill. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Gene Drink. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Spirit Earth. Congratulations. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Kaiji Dan. Except for more than 100 times, it was finally drawn. For the first time, he felt that drawing a lottery was also an energy-consuming task. Take out the Kaiji pill, put it into the bottle and shake it apart, beckoning to the Rhubarb. Wow, Rhubarb ran over, sticking his tongue out. His mental head was like a world when Chen Zan first bought it, and the gap was huge. "Come on, drink some water." Chen Zan poured the Gene Drink into the bowl while also paying attention to the changes in Rhubarb. "Brother Chen, get some meat for him to eat. Where can I just drink water? If you drink too much, it will be easy to run out." For Mao, I feel that Rhubarb's mental head seems to be much better. It's so much better, jumping and jumping. I used to raise a dog like this. I was listless in the cage, and when I let it out, it was alive and kicking. It's normal. After the Rhubarb drank the water, his physical fitness was quietly changing. And its eyes are a little more humanized. "Rhubarb. Wang, Rhubarb. Why do you call me? Stand up." Wow, Rhubarb's obedient hind limbs landed, and the person stood up. Turn 3 times. 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps. Everyone, is Rhubarb already so smart? Your mother, Brother Chen, you found the baby. Although he is a local dog, he is really smart. 200 yuan is absolutely worth the money. I am so envious that it exploded. How did you do it? Isn't this just bought back? How can it be so smart? Because Rhubarb is a dog. I have lived in the city for a long time, and I have been dealing with people for a long time, so I can understand people's speech. Are you serious about this? Kaiji Dan is still hanging. Rhubarb's current IQ is about the same as that of a child about 8 years old. Brother Niu is not much worse. Not bad, not bad. With a boast, Chen Zan slapped the Rhubarb hard and said, go out and get some food by the way. There are 3 ways to buy things in Shengwang village. One is to go directly to the county town to buy it. One is to go to the town to buy. There are simple vegetable markets and supermarkets in the town, and most things can be bought. There is also a small shop in the village with some daily necessities, but there are not many options. Basically, you can only buy what is in the store. Chen Zan took the Rhubarb to go out and soon came to the supermarket. I bought a little bit of each of these condiments, enough for him to use for a month. Toilet paper, toothpaste, toothbrush, lighter. It cost him more than 300 yuan to buy it in one pass. Fortunately, the small shop can use the mobile phone to pay, otherwise he will have to go to the county town to get the money. The daily necessities are stocked, but the food is still out. Every household in the village grows vegetables, raises chickens and ducks, and the small shop occasionally buys stick fish. The villagers have to ask him to order it in advance, or else they won't buy it. Therefore, in the village, even if you have money, you can't solve the problem if you want to eat all the time. He checked the time, and it was only 2:30, a long way from breakfast. Rhubarb, Chen Zan shouted, and went over to grab a hoe. Go to the fields. Wow, Rhubarb wagged his tail and followed Chen Zan. When they came to the field, Brother Niu yelled at him, moo moo, upon seeing this, and asked them what they were doing. Chen Zan glanced at this acre, then looked at the hoe in his hand, suddenly felt a little redundant. I'll go back and get something, you're waiting here. Wow, Rhubarb watched Chen Zan go back, and after a while, Chen Zan came back. It's just that there are 2 more things in his hand. Plow. Wang Dao's eyes lit up. Chen Zan is about to start farm work. He should be planning to grow vegetables. Although he is not short of money, the traffic in Shengwang village is not convenient. If he is going out to buy vegetables, he has to travel a long way every day, which is very inconvenient. However, even if you are farming, it's not that you can grow mature now. Lin Fei said. Several people pondered for a few seconds. It's true, farming can't solve the problems at this stage. But since he did this, I think he must have his own reason. Chen Zan took 2 plows, and brought a plow to Brother Niu's side. Brother Niu, come, help. Moo. Chen Zan put the plow on it, then under the puzzled gaze of Brother Niu, he grabbed another plow and said, I teach you how to use it. Look carefully. He put the plow on the ground, grabbing the rope and dragging it forward. The sharp plow was submerged in the soil, and under Chen Zan's drag, it turned the soft soil plow over. Chen Zan turned his head. Diaresis, do you understand? Quote. Moo. Brother Niu said this is simple, I can close my eyes. Ah, I want to say, cows seem to be born to plow, right? This is a bit redundant. Your cattle are born to plow. Plows are made by humans. How come cattle are born to plow? Brother Niu is so hard. I haven't stopped for the whole day. It's a marathon on a trailer and a plowing. This is definitely the hardest big buffalo I have ever seen. Distressed Brother Niu. For a while, the whole screen was filled with barrage of distressed Brother Niu. After Chen Zan demonstrated it again, he was not idle. An acre of land is not too big or too small, so it would take a long time for Brother Niu to plow the land by himself. And plowing does not mean that you just open the soil. Cleaning up weeds, picking up stones, weeds, perennial roots, smashing slabs and clumps of soil. Basically, you have to go through these procedures, otherwise there is no way to plant them. But for Chen Zan, he doesn't need to be so troublesome. All he has to do is plow the ground and turn the soil over, without doing any other procedures. Because he has spiritual soil. He clapped his hands, grabbed the rope, dragged the plow, and started plowing. Everyone was dumbfounded. Brother Chen, what are you doing? Do you want to fight like this? You will be ashamed of Brother Niu by doing this. Chen Zan's highly efficient batch, the drone slowly lifted into the air. Chen Zan was shot from a bird's eye view. Everyone saw that in the field below, there were people on the left, cows on the right, and a dog in the middle. The person on the left, dragging the plow fast, especially in the contrast with the cow on the right, can feel how abnormal Chen Zan's speed is. With the cooperation of 1 person and 1 cow, 1 new field was plowed in less than 2 hours. In these 2 hours, Chen Zan didn't stop to rest and didn't even drink his saliva. This explosive physical quality made people look dumbfounded. Several of those farmers who didn't resist when they were farming. The peasants' endurance is actually very strong, but compared with Brother Chen, it's really not a rank. Actually, there is no need to plow an acre of land. It's almost enough to make an area of 7 or 8 meters. Anyway, there is only 1 person, enough to eat by himself. Brother Chen is not alone now. He has cows and dogs. He has 3 mouths in a family. After finishing the plow, Chen Zan threw the plow to the side. With a thought, the spiritual soil quietly covered not far away. He drew a total of 20 parts of spiritual soil, which adds up to 200 kilograms. There is not much soil at this point, and on average, it is not full of half an acre of land. He grabbed the shovel and walked over, flattening this piece of spiritual soil evenly. 200 kilograms, about 8 meters square when paved. After finishing the farmland, Chen Zan sent the plow back, turned around and came to the shop. Wang, after changing some cash from the shop, he went to the aunt's house next door. He knocked a few times, and soon the aunt came over. Xiao Chen, what's the matter? Is the rice finished? Auntie, I want to buy some vegetable seedlings from you. He pointed to his own field in the distance. My field has just been turned over, so I'm missing the vegetable seedlings. Go, I'll take you to the fields, and you can dig out what seedlings you want. The aunt's fields are so much. Looking around, more than 30 acres are hers. Chen Zan chose corn, green vegetables, green peppers, tomatoes. 7 or 8 kinds of vegetables were selected, and then when the aunt refused, she forcibly gave her the money. Given the money, Chen Zan started digging vegetables. Dig up the roots and transplant them directly after a while. You call this thing kai miao. Take it back and cook it carefully, okay. I want to say that it's easy to die if you do this. 10 vegetables are at least half dead. Why don't you waste this time? Just buy what you want from the aunt's vegetable garden. Li Lang's eyes lit up. It turns out that's the case. I'll just say how well he can plow. Transplanting semi-finished products is not only convenient, but you can eat it whenever you want. Ma Jingyao also nodded in appreciation. Uncle Chen. As soon as Chen Zan transplanted all these vegetables, he heard someone call himself. Wang Bin ran over here quickly, holding something in his hand. Long, black, still writhing. Worry, snake. Your sister, where did this kid catch the snake? This snake has to be 2 meters long, right? It's bigger than the one caught by Brother Chen. Has this kid always been so brave? When Wang Bin ran over, Chen Zan was also taken aback after seeing it clearly. You snake, roar, I went to the mountains to catch it. Wang Bin said with a dirty face. Uncle Chen, I want to trouble you one thing. Chen Zan asked. Don't you dare to kill snakes. Wang Bin shook his head. My dad will be back tomorrow. Grandparents said that my dad worked hard in the field and couldn't eat delicious food. So I want to ask my uncle to cook yesterday's dish for my dad to eat. Chen Zan was startled. Looking at the half-year-old boy in front of him, he suddenly felt a bit blocked in his throat. This child is a bit painful to be sensible. In order to eat snake soup for father, he went to the mountain to catch a snake. Chen Zan rubbed his head and smiled. Okay. This is a black snake, non-venomous. But it still hurts to be bitten. This kid can catch such a big black snake. Snake put me here first, come and get it tomorrow night. Chen Zan pinched the head of the snake and grabbed it in his hand. The black snake twisted, half of its body was wrapped around Chen Zan's arm. Thank you, uncle. Okay, go back quickly. After Wang Bin left, Chen Zan said, Rhubarb, let's go back now. Wang, Rhubarb followed. Brother Niu moved and followed. Chen Zan looked at it. Why, do you want to go down too? Moo, Brother Niu nodded. It feels that it is no longer an ordinary cow, and it needs to pursue a more comfortable living environment. Living in the fields is really not elegant enough. Chen Zan stared at it for a long while, wondering if you were running into a comfortable living environment. As far as the house he lives in, how can it not be linked to the word comfort? Obviously, I came here with the gene drink. I really thought Chen Zan couldn't tell. Let's go. Chen Zan didn't expose it, otherwise it would be embarrassing. 1 person, 1 cow and 1 dog, this weird combination came down from the field. The villagers who came back from farm work saw this scene with a question mark on their faces. What is this Xiao Chen doing? Why did you bring the cow home? Probably because you were afraid of losing the cow, right? Nonsense, where can you throw it away in the village? Then why take it back? Apart from worrying about the cattle being stolen, there is no other explanation. It's really strange. Chen Zan returned home and searched for a long time through boxes and cabinets, and found a mouse cage in the dilapidated wood room. Throw the black snake in and kill it again tomorrow. He glanced at a few bamboo shoots on the ground and said to himself, why forgot to buy meat? It's okay if you don't eat meat for 1 day, and it's okay if you don't eat meat for 2 days. But he can't be a vegetarian every day, and he is not a monk, so who can stand this? Rhubarb, go. Wow. Chen Zan grabbed the hatchet and pinned it to his waist. Rhubarb followed. When he reached the door, Chen Zan turned his head and said, Brother Niu, let's go together. Moo. Brother Niu lay on the ground in a pretty enchanting posture. Hearing Chen Zhan's words, he said that he did not want to move. Don't be lazy, hurry up. Chen Zhan went over, grabbed the horn and dragged it away. This drag was actually a direct drag on Brother Niu's huge body. Moreover, it looks very relaxed. The power that Chen Zhan showed inadvertently made everyone in the live broadcast almost stare. This is definitely not a special effect. Who is the cow? What kind of strength is this? I'll take it, hell in broad daylight. Brother Niu is at least 1,000 catties, this is simply a moving hill, okay. Wang Dao is also swallowing. Chen Zhan and Buffalo are very different in body shape. But Chen Zhan's just dragging, that relaxed look, once made his have an illusion, as if this adult bull was just an empty shell. Brother Niu was dragged helplessly, so he had to get up and keep up. Chen Zhan did not walk through the bamboo forest this time, but walked from the grass on the other side. The rhubarb ran fast in front, and the figure running freely was very happy. While walking, Chen Zhan took out the professional card he had drawn yesterday, thought about it, and used it directly. Professional cards are in effect at random. Congratulations to the host for obtaining fishing first glimpse of the doorway. Fishing. Chen Zhan was surprised. The most important thing was that he had no idea that fishing could be considered a profession. He took out his phone and searched it, and found that fishing is really special. The most powerful is the Super Fishing Master, the following are the first level, the second level. Feeling the information pouring into his mind, he has a new understanding of this profession. It turns out that there is so much knowledge in fishing. He immediately promoted it to the highest level. Master of Fishing, Taiwan Fishing, Traditional, Lure, Raft Fishing. You are good at everything. Even if you come to unfamiliar waters, you can determine the best fishing spot in the first place. Even if it is stormy, it can't stop you from exploding. If I remember correctly, there is a river behind Fengming Mountain. Chen Zhan took out his phone and checked the map again. As expected, he remembered correctly. Just behind this mountain, there is a large natural water area called the Moon River, which belongs to a tributary of the Yangtze River. From here, you have to cross the mountain, and it takes more than an hour for a normal person to get there. But at Chen Zhan's speed, it takes half an hour to reach it, and it may not take half an hour. Looking at the time, it was almost 3 o'clock. After a little entanglement, Chen Zhan decided to go there. I checked. There is a moon river on the other side of the mountain. I will go over and take a look. I will catch some fish by the way and try it. Chen Zhan determined the direction and just left. Catch the fish. You have a fishing rod. You catch a hairy fish without a fishing rod. Don't talk about fishing rods, not even fishing line hooks. Look at the map, dear, the Moon River is so big, and it's connected to Zhang. Brother Chen, please be careful not to fall. Chen Zhan quickly walked into the mountain, and he stopped and said, Brother Niu, you just eat grass here. Go back when you are full, and you can wait for me if you don't want to go back. Moo. Brother Niu bowed his head and ate the green grass, wandering freely. Chen Zhan said, You are also a mature cow. If you are hungry, you will come here by yourself, do you know? Moo. Brother Niu. I got it, I got it. Settling down, Chen Zhan took the rhubarb and walked into the mountains. I seriously doubt now that Brother Niu can really understand Brother Chen. Don't doubt it, you can definitely understand it. Brother Chen is really good at training animals. I don't know if there is a chance to ask Brother Chen to train my second Ha. After entering the forest, Chen Zhan began to speed up. The insoles in the sports shoes are awarded by the city system. They are full of surnames and protect the soles of the feet in all directions, so that they will not be crippled. Tap. 2 figures swiftly shuttled in the deep forest. It was Chen Zhan and Rhubarb. Chen Zhan stepped out and appeared almost immediately 3 to 5 meters away. The complicated terrain did not cause him the slightest obstacle. The drone followed him, almost as if it were from the first point of view, and it was extremely exciting for everyone to see. Chen Zhan ran so fast. Sometimes just after passing a big tree, everyone hadn't reacted yet, and there was another big tree facing him. Then he stepped on the ground one step at a time, moved sideways, and passed the big tree dangerously and dangerously. As long as it was a little slower, it ran directly into it, and the heartbeats of everyone who watched were all accelerating slightly. Seeing Brother Chen running around in the mountains, he can be so excited. The first point of view is so cool. Brother Chen ran faster than Rhubarb, really more cattle than cattle. Rhubarb was slightly behind Chen Zan a few steps, his limbs stomped on the fallen leaves, and quickly shuttled through the forest. Rhubarb, keep up, Chen Zan yelled, seeing a big tree rung in front of him, 5 meters away, he strode forward and jumped up. With a pop, both hands grabbed the trunk of this big tree. Under this forward-looking habitual surname, with a flick of his arms, his body swayed forward like a swing. When swinging to the highest point, release your hands and let your body fly out in the air. Snapped. Seeing the fall, Chen Zan accurately grasped a tree trunk in front of him with his right hand. Then, without reducing his speed, he actually ran directly on the densely wooded trunk. Worry, Brother Chen, you are so showy. Is this parkour? So handsome. Parkour can't get this effect, right? It feels like an athlete playing on the horizontal bar. Light work, this is light work. Chen Zan's dazzling series of operations are pleasing to the eye. After more than 10 minutes, Chen Zan jumped from the tree. You can't jump if you don't. There is a coniferous broad-leaved forest in front of you. It's not easy to climb, you can only walk from the ground. After passing through the coniferous broad-leaved forest, running for 10 minutes, passing through a forest, the vision in front of him suddenly became clear. A swath of lake water, sparkling in the sun, is exceptionally beautiful, and it makes people relax. This is the Moon River, it's really beautiful. Chen Zan praised and walked towards the shore. There is no road here, and no car can drive. If you want to come here, you can only rely on your legs. He came to the shore and looked into the distance. The drone slowly lifted into the sky, and from a bird's eye view of the sky, the beautiful scenery of the green mountains and green waters can be captured in the eyes. The Moon River is called the Moon River because the Fengming Mountain here surrounds it from all around the Moon River, forming a meniscus shape. This view is absolutely stunning. I am a native of Tianai City, and I have lived for more than 20 years. It is the first time I know that there is such a beautiful place in my hometown. Everyone was immersed in this beautiful scenery and couldn't help themselves. Crack! This voice immediately made everyone awake. As soon as the camera turned, everyone discovered that Chen Zan did not know when he ran to a small bamboo forest near the shore. He raised the knife and fell and chopped off a piece of bamboo. Then he sat cross-legged on the ground and began to split the bamboo strips. There are many ways to catch fish. Chen Zan cleaved the bamboo strips and said, fishing with a hook, catch with a net, use a spear, or even go directly to the river to catch it by hand. I have just placed an order to buy fishing rods and will be there tomorrow. But before that, I can make a simple fish basket. The bamboo strips were quickly chopped. In his hands, the bamboo strips quickly rose to the bottom and quickly formed. This kind of fish crate can only be in but not out. I just need to put some food in the fish crate, and then throw the fish crate into the river. Then I can come and collect it by tomorrow. After a few minutes, the fish crate is ready. He held it in his hand and said, look, it's a very simple fish basket. Brother Chen is so clever. With these hands, the bold idea gets stronger and stronger. Brother Chen abruptly turned the farmer's challenge into a pure rural land. The countryside of the rich is the pure land, and the countryside where I am waiting for the poor is full of land. Chen Zan walked to the grass with a bamboo basket, and picked a handful of wild fruits from the grass. Then he squatted on the shore with his back to the drone. From an angle that everyone could not see, he took out the spiritual soil he had just drawn. Mix wild fruit and spiritual soil together, hold it into a ball, and throw it directly into the fish basket. After it was done, Chen Zan put a big rock in the fish basket. Then he grabbed the fish basket and threw it hard against the lake in front of him. There was a loud bang, water splashed everywhere, and the fish basket slowly sank into the river water. After washing the handles, Chen Zan said, okay, I have already noted the location, just come and pick it up tomorrow. Rhubarb, let's go. Wow, one person and one dog walked in the direction they came. I feel that Brother Chen is here to see the scenery, catching fish is just an excuse. A ball of yellow mud. If there are fish in the fish basket tomorrow, I will eat the soil live. Don't talk about fish, you can't even have dried shrimps. In terms of catching fish, Brother Chen is still not professional enough. On the way back, Chen Zan and Rhubarb were still in trouble. The mountains of several hundred meters are like walking on the ground under his feet, and the relaxed appearance is like a walking exercise of digestion after a meal. When he was halfway left, Chen Zan suddenly slowed down, his eyes searching for something in the forest. See if you can catch another snake, otherwise, you can only eat bamboo shoots tonight. Although it doesn't matter if you eat a vegetarian meal occasionally, I ran almost 100 kilometers before and after today. My body is exhausted. I can feel that I need to eat meat. Rhubarb, pay attention, let me know if something happens. Wow, Rhubarb expressed his understanding. Although it takes less than a day to get along with one person and one dog, Rhubarb seems to have regarded Chen Zan as his closest partner. Huh, Chen Zan said softly, his eyes condensed suddenly. There was a sudden movement in the grass directly in front. He looked intently, and in the next second, two shadows suddenly sprang out of the grass and flew high into the sky. Pheasant. Chen Zan's eyes brightened. Although I ate snake soup yesterday, I also ate hamburger chicken drumsticks, as well as genetic drinks, etc. to replenish physical strength. But seeing the pheasant at the moment, a way of cooking pheasant emerged in his mind involuntarily. I'm going, there are still pheasants in the mountains. Isn't that nonsense? I have all in the countryside. Can there be such a big mountain? I even suspect that there are wild boars in this mountain. There is no doubt that there are wild boars in Fengming Mountain, as well as wolves and black bears. Isn't Brother Chen very dangerous? Quote question mark question mark question mark. Isn't it a wild boar that is dangerous? I saw Brother Chen's eyes glow. At the same second as the pheasant appeared, Chen Zan rushed forward abruptly. Under the Grandmaster level pile step, he is as light as a swallow. Although he has not drawn anything like light work, he can easily jump up to 2 or 3 meters in one step under the combination of his physical fitness skyrocketing and the pile step. I saw his feet like a phantom, trampled repeatedly, and the whole person was almost flying up against the turf. It was almost a breath, and it was already 5 meters away. He stepped on it and immediately rose to the ground, his body jumped more than 1 meter high, and he stepped on the big tree with 1 foot in the air, taking advantage of his body to vacate again. In such a few steps, the body has jumped to a height of 4 meters, and all this is between the electric light and flint. 2 pheasants are already close at hand. I have meat tonight. Chen Zan grinned and grabbed the pheasant's wings with his right hand. The other pheasant flew in another direction in fright. Chen Zan couldn't predict it, so he could only watch it fly away. Wow! At this moment, a dog barked. The figure of a yellow sei rushed towards the direction where the pheasant escaped. In the next second, Rhubarb rushed in the air and grabbed the pheasant's neck in one bite. Good job! Chen Zan exclaimed loudly. There was a brief silence in the live broadcast room for 2 seconds. Next moment. I'm fascinating. Brother Chen, you are so handsome. Light work. This is the legendary light work. 3 cups of wine. I rewarded 10 Buddhas jumping over the wall and left a message. Brother Chen, I want to learn this. Tiger Mountain Tour. I rewarded 10 Buddhas who jumped off the wall and left a message. I'm going, it's so handsome. Master Chow. I rewarded 10 Buddhas who jumped off the wall. Chen Zan caught up with the sparks of light and flint at an instant 7 or 8 meters away, stepping a few steps and grabbing a pheasant easily like flying into the air. And the scene of Rhubarb hunting pheasants instantly detonated the entire live broadcast room. Chen Zan pulled a vine from the forest, with a pheasant tied to each end, and held it in his hand. After catching 2 pheasants, Chen Zan was in a good mood, swaying slowly in the woods without rush or slowness. He took out his phone, glanced at the barrage, and said with a smile, "Wild boar. There must be wild boars in the mountains, but they have better luck. They didn't meet me, otherwise, they would have pork to eat today. There are dozens of ways to make pork. Oh, forget it, don't talk about these. The more you talk about it, the more you want to eat it." Chen Zan shook his head. I am very satisfied with 2 pheasants. One is braised in brown sauce and the other is grilled on charcoal. Brother Chen, what time do you have dinner? Tell me so I can block you. At the same time, Modu, the headquarters of the Kitten Live Broadcast Platform Company. In the chairman's office, a middle-aged man is talking to a young woman in her 20s. Xiaolin, this matter is left to you, he must be signed, can it be done? Xiaolin nodded vigorously. Don't worry, Qidong, I promise to complete the task. If he has any requirements for signing, you can tell me as soon as possible. Aha, go ahead. Shaolin left the office, quickly returned to his position, then turned on the computer, and on the screen, it was Chen Zhan's live studio. What Qidong asked her to do was to sign Chen Zhan. With the current popularity of Chen Zhan, no matter which platform, as long as you sign, you can make a lot of money. From the beginning, everyone felt that Chen Zhan was just a good cook. Even now, the ability he has continuously demonstrated has made some people realize that this man always seems to be able to bring surprises to others. And he broke the world record for the marathon in live broadcast today, and even the world champion appeared in the live broadcast room, and the provincial track and field team threw an olive branch. And such a person is still free. This is hard to think of. As the cooperative live broadcast platform of Into the Profession, the Kitten platform absolutely does not allow Chen Zhan to be taken away by other live broadcast platforms. At this time, Kobayashi is checking the contract. This is a customized contract. There are thousands of anchors on the Kitten platform, and no one has gotten such a contract. As a result, many people think that the so-called top-level contract on the Kitten platform is fooling people. As everyone knows, this contract does exist. After the inspection, I switched to Chen Zhan's live broadcast room. Looking at Chen Zhan with a pheasant in his hand and rhubarb by his side, Shaolin took a deep breath. Afterwards, he dialed Chen Zhan's mobile phone number. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.